This video contains strong language not suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh, you actually have a candy cane. Holy
Yes,
shit.
if I have a
just
candy
realized.
cane. I have a whole box of candy canes. Anyway.
So, welcome back, everybody, to another exciting adventure of 5% chance of shit going horribly, horribly wrong. This week, there's a 5% chance that someone won't return an umbrella they borrowed.
Accurate.
So last week, we left with the party divided, literally and physically rather than mentally. Chris, you good? Okay.
I want to see if it would fit. It didn't.
I was worried.
No Riley Reid.
Couldn't open it.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started, Brandon.
Anyway, so the party was divided between what out of game was called the Humdrum V and the Fun V. The Fun V consisting of Lami, Thrall, and Robbie, and the Humdrum V and Frank. I'm sorry, can't forget Frank. And the Humdrum V consisting of Lythar and Korra, Thalia, Ronan, and Mori, as well as the three very Russian gnomes and Marisha, who was the woman that you saved from inside the rock.
That's not true.
Not the movie with Sean Connery and Nick Cage.
Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
That's far better than anything we could hope to create. So, which party wants to go first?
I have zero preference. So whatever you want to do there, buddy.
Ain't matter me none.
Let's do the one that Deeps is not in.
Okay.
So that's us. Yeah.
That's
So
a fun.
So
a fun
that'll be the fun
V.
V.
It's the fun V.
So when last y'all left off, you had just seen basically this earthen hand come up and pull down the ceiling inside this cave. And like it was just like grabbing the top of the cave and just like just pulling the rock together to seal it on the way out. The rest of the party saw what looked like an earth elemental come out of the ground and then go in and do all of these things. But you guys just saw this hand come up and seal it. And so you guys have successfully sealed the breach. Quest complete. Good job.
Where's
Now,
my
like
money?
Like every good WoW quest.
Real quick,
yeah.
can we turn down Groovy a
Yes.
little bit?
You can also turn it down. I don't know if you can on mobile, actually. Let me see what Groovy's at.
Okay, you just gotta poke him.
Yeah, you can adjust the volumes just like you can adjust everything.
He was at 2%. He's now at 1%.
Thank you.
That is as low as I can get him without turning him off, which is not usually my goal.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it just went down for me. So
We'll leave it in the three of you and Frank. Leave that up to you guys. What would y'all like to do?
So what's the plan now?
I do believe that I have to report this to Terry. This seems very, very dire.
Do you really think we need to go back to Terry?
I believe I do.
Probably
Yes.
should.
Well, I suppose if you'd like to go back to Terry first, we could go back to see Terry. But how do we get back in?
Are we trying to return down here?
I don't believe so.
I don't believe so, no.
The conversation that I wish to have with Terry will not allow us re-entry into this building at all.
Oh. Well, excellent.
Grab any more cubes you find on the way out.
What is your plan, Robbie?
This facility has been breached and has been causing an infection in the world. I do believe the best course of action is fire.
I like fire. And
Yeah,
I
there's
like
lots of fire.
cubes. I quite like your plan.
So,
Well, you lead the way and I'll follow happily.
As an extra security measure, since I have already used the arm cannon to blast a hole in the floor big enough for Ronan in the past, when we come back in that hatch that the gnomes were using, I'm gonna try to do like basically a weld on that door if I can.
Okay. Yeah, you can basically. It might take you a little bit of time, but yeah, you could like blast, like basically put your cannon up to the edge and just blast around the edges and like seal it. Yeah, that'll just take a couple of minutes.
Excellent.
Frank, meanwhile, is still kind of where Maury left him, just kind of standing. But he's turned. He's no longer backed up against the wall. He's now turned and is just watching the three of you. As Robbie, is that Meg or TIG welding? I'm not sure. As Robbie welds this thing shut. So you've now created a very secure seal.
I think that's just straight up arc welding, like lightning.
Yeah, I think that's just an arc weld because you don't have a stick of material or anything. You just arc welded it.
You just melted the bitch.
The next goal is to go straight back to that Modron that I dropped on the floor unceremoniously outside the door, and use him to get back to Terry.
Okay. As you approach the door, the door slides open. The Modron is no longer there.
Oh, I wanted to step on him.
Is inconvenient. Just
Why
gonna
is
start
it inconvenient, Robbie?
Just start letting off a burst of static.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. You let out that screech, and you hear about a dozen answering screeches from all around you, and they just like little. There's tiny hatches just like pop open, and about a dozen of these little Modrons just like hop out of the wall, and they mill around for a second, and then they turn and look at you and go, "Greetings and salutations."
Every single one of them. Hello, I am Robbie. Hello, I am Robbie. Hello.
They wait till you get done with all of them and they go, "Hello. We will take you to Terry if that's what you would like." In
That
this
is absolutely what I would. Or no,
this
I'm sorry.
weird modular chorus.
It's cool.
It's cool.
And they're all still frozen, really perky like, but you see one or two of them just kind of like the one singular eye just goes. Is that an affirmative?
I believe that is what I have been taught, yes.
Come with us. And they turn and just like in a phalanx just chunk, chunk, and it sounds like a larger creature walking instead of a dozen tiny things because they're just perfectly in lockstep, and they're forming like a 1 foot by 1 foot square on the floor as they're walking.
Oh, I am gonna get in sync with that step.
It's
a little
easy.
tiny steps.
Yeah, you just see Robbie like barely picking up his feet to keep in line with this,
and you fall into step almost too easily.
I'm gonna take really big steps behind them, like big step, wait, big step, wait.
They're
Just
moving
gonna
much.
walk them.
They're moving much faster than you would think they would. But they're moving at a good walking pace, which is like like.
Just see Lobby hopping behind them.
They're trekking right along. Lobby's playing hopscotch. Thrall, are you just?
I'm just walking along.
Just Frank is walking alongside you, Thrall, at this point, and he's just like kind of just looking straight ahead with the hat pulled down at a jaunty 45. None of you remember the hat being at that angle, but it's just where it's sitting right now. And just so you guys make your way back. It's that long, slight incline walk until you get back to the room with the dissipated summoning circle in the center of it, and that one south door where Terry had given you guys your sort of briefing and your instruction. That door is open, and you see the large table is no longer there, and Terry is just kind of hovering in the center of the room, in the middle of the same the same floating picture. He's just floating in the center of it as he's looking around. He does not notice. He hasn't noticed the door, or that you guys are at the door.
Yeah, screw it. Pardon me.
The two eyes, one of which is the blackened one, and the other one just turn. You hear, "Oh, you're back sooner than I expected." And the rest of him spins around so the mouth is facing you as he just kind of lands, very delicately and walks over to the four of you and he goes, "I trust everything was successful."
I unfortunately must deliver bad news for you. You have failed to maintain the security of this facility, and it has been breached.
Shame on you.
Yes, but that's why you were sent, was to seal that breach. Is that
We did.
I do not believe that there will not be further breaches later. People from this plane understand that this area exists. Recommendation: meltdown of facility, return to Primus, receive new orders.
The eyes are kind of throwing shifty looks at each other, and Thrall, you notice that the Modrons are also kind of looking at each other and looking up at Robbie and over at Terry. And Terry goes, "That's going to be a problem."
Just that cocked head to the side like a dog.
Were you not informed of this before you arrived?
I was not.
Interesting. Well, we're still a secret then. Our facility, my designation, and those like me, has been split off from the Primus for approximately 7 marches.
That's a long time.
Approximately 2,000 years.
This information is unacceptable. I will need the location of the other facilities. Breach is imminent, I believe.
At all the other facilities?
If this facility is no longer a secret on this plane of existence, do you believe that the other facilities will remain secret for long? There are very obvious markers to get in here if you know what you are looking for.
What would those markers be? I can have them changed.
I believe
I can modify entrances,
giant
exits.
mentioned a string.
The string is not protocol, as I'm sure he's told you, and as I'm sure you may understand. The string is not standard protocol. That was, in fact, a 1 in several million coincidence.
Then it is mathematically probable.
After 2,000 years, anything is probable.
Odds of rediscovery unacceptable.
Very well. When you leave, I will simply modify our entrances to a different location on this plane. Is that suitable?
I don't think so.
I will need the location.
The physical location or the location of the entrances?
The location of the entrances, as well as the location of the entrances to the other menageries on this plane of existence.
Very well. And he looks at a Modron and says, "I'll need a physical copy of that information. And the Modron just like snaps to attention and just skitters off, running on all four legs instead of just two now. Just guns it down into the. When you look back and see it run, there's a little gap that opens up in the edge of the summoning circle where it's just like he runs off. And Terry goes, now that I'm getting you that information, I will warn you that all menagerie facilities have been isolated from Mechanus and the Primus. Please ignore that sound. That's not
back.
anything. That's not me. They're back and they're pissed. The Primus at the time designated these facilities and removed us from the connection to the Primus and to Mechanus itself. We are isolated and self-sustaining in the event of a planar emergency.
For now.
Directive understood. I believe I will have to chat with the Primus.
This Primus may not be aware of us.
This?
Has the Great Machine not told you? He is but another piece of the machine.
Understood.
He may or may not remember creating our menageries, or he may simply deny that they exist. You seem to have exceptional knowledge in some areas and minimal in others. That may be by his design as well.
I have noticed that not all cogs need to be aware of every other cog.
Now you're getting the larger picture.
Thank you for your time. If another breach happens, I will need you to get in contact with me right away.
Of course. In fact, I've just relocated all but one of the exits in this time. The only exit remaining in the same location is the one where you breached. The one where you came down for your visit, shall we say. So you are able to leave the same way you came in. I understand it can... Go on.
Is the physical location of this facility in the same place?
The same as it was when you entered, yes.
Do you not have a record of underground dwelling species?
I do.
I do not believe that the underground dwelling species that we found will leave that entrance alone. It may be sealed for now, but if they were able to breach into the design of the facility, then what I did to seal it will not stay sealed.
All right. I will find suitable countermeasures and possibly
we could find our own countermeasures.
If the entire facility needs to be moved, that will be a larger undertaking that will take some time.
That is understood. I will need a full report.
Very good.
Okay, that's really all I got.
Thank you. Weren't there more of you?
Yes, they went another way.
They are sealing the initial breach from the other side.
Ah, excellent. Well, I wish them luck and safety in that regard. Hopefully they stood clear of any of the primary exits or entrances for their own safety, or they may end up lost between the planes.
I do hope that they appear somewhere near the designated meeting point. Did we designate a meeting point?
I don't remember. I wasn't
believe
listening.
We did.
Excellent.
Frank puts up his finger. and sort of puts two fingers like this and makes like a jabbing motion. And then this. And then puts his hands down.
Pointy fingers.
I believe that the rains are falling in Faerun.
Frank just like,
Yes.
he kind of slumps his shoulders a little.
I'll look at Frank. Are they blessed?
He looks up and he does the same head cock that you did. And the hat falls off his head. And he's just standing there with the hat like upside down on the floor. But I think, and anyone else who is there can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you guys said you're meeting at the Long Pike Inn, unless I'm making that up in my head.
I have Long Pike in my notes.
So it must be true. The bard wrote it down. So yeah, you guys know that you're all meeting back in Long Pike, either the inn or Lady Cost house. Long Pike's not that big, and you guys are a little conspicuous.
I'm gonna grab the hat, put it back on Frank's head, and hopefully head in the right direction of the exit. I'm gonna go the way he was pointing and hope that he was actually right.
So when you come out of the room, there's only one door because you came out of a south door.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The north door is another touchscreen door, like what you were doing to find the rooms last time,
And some Krakens.
and the Krakens, the
Okay.
Kenku, and all the other bloodshed. The door to the east is the one you came through, and the door to the west is where you came through initially.
So that would be like east twice and then north once.
This one you can just go. You just go down the hall, I believe, until you hit rubble. Let me check my notes.
Yes, that's what I was picturing was the place cards or the index cards.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, so basically, if you guys go out the west door, you just walk down that hallway, and then you come to a doorway that leads up into the cavern that you guys crawled down the pile of rubble
right.
to get to.
Oh, have I been given the information?
As you're walking out of the room, the Modron's part for you, and then the smaller Modron comes back up out of the hole and looks at you and does like a weird, does this to you as you come forward. And he's just like standing there like this, looking up at you.
Hello, I am Robbie.
Greetings and salutations. I have the information you needed. And it turns and pulls out what looks like a ream of, like a rolled up piece of wood. It looks like some kind of case.
Okay. Like a scroll case?
Yeah, like it's a little. It's not quite as like fancy and stylized as a scroll case. And this one looks like it's made entirely out of some kind of lacquer.
Can I open it?
Yeah. When you take it from the Modron, it's about it's probably about 12 inches long, and probably 2 or 3 inches tall. And it is tied with a very dusty, decrepit leather cord. Would you like to open it?
Very, very carefully. I would like to open it.
Okay. Undo the leather, and it flakes. A lot of it flakes away, but there's still enough that you can tie this up when you're done. And as it goes, you hear this, and the wood itself unrolls. And this map, long story short, doesn't make sense. You see there's a large red blob labeled Menagerie 06 in what looks like some kind of Modron shorthand. But then it also looks like the other ones there are other large red dots labeled menagerie with varying numerical designations, but they all look to be very close together. But that isn't physically possible, because looking at some of the notations, it looks like they are stacked interdimensionally. So you have all of these menageries existing in the same space on a plane, but having entrances to different ones and existing individually on the planes of their choice. It's confused. That's about as much information as you can figure out. Any attempt, if you wanted to go to a different menagerie, you would need to spend a lot of time trying to decode, or possibly find someone who's better at jumping between planes than you are to help figure this thing out.
Yeah, if Robbie could, he'd be grinning right now because he's looking at planes hopping right in front of him.
It's a thing that, like, through the rest of you who can't read Modron and are looking at this map, it looks like a Jackson Pollock painting. There's just weird lines and dots and what looks like splashes of something on it, on this little piece of wood. Robbie seems to know exactly what the hell's going on. And Frank sees everybody kind of looking at it, and Frank also walks over and looks and starts just kind of cocking his head from side to side.
Robbie, what the hell is this?
This is an interplanar map.
Looks like rubbish to me.
Most of them will.
Rubbish. All rubbish.
I will specifically hold this out for Frank and be like, I do not know what your capabilities for memorization are, but please keep this in your databanks.
Frank kind of reaches out and takes the map and is just staring at it. And like doesn't look up, just stares. You're not entirely sure. It's kind of like when, you hand a book to a 4-year-old and they're like, I can read it. And you're not sure, you're not 100% sure if they actually can or not. Yeah.
After a respectful amount of time, I will take it back, try to close it back up.
Okay. It rolls up. Once you like try a couple of folds, it's like folding any other map. You get it wrong 2 or 3 times, and then you're like, oh, it's this, and it just rolls right up into its original size, and everything's where it should be to tie it off.
And I'm not going to take that decrepit piece of leather to tie it back up. I'm just going to dump it in the haversack.
Okay.
I need to add that to inventory.
Is there anything I can do to help the rest of you? You've all been very helpful with this issue.
I mean, what do you got?
What would
You did request that payment would be done in some form of currency or item before we left.
Yes, something very magical or very powerful or very valuable or just a bunch of money. Really, whatever you want to part with.
One moment. And it floats over to the side of the room, and Robbie, it speaks, it lets out a burst of static. Robbie, you hear him say, access inventory, and the wall just kind of goes, and the stones just like slide apart, but not in a single wall, just like individual stones like just slide apart, and there's a blank wall with a whole bunch of, it looks like safety deposit boxes, to put it in like contemporary terms. There's just a whole bunch of tiny little cubbies. And he's like, this one. And he pulls out a bag about the size of a coin purse. And goes, here, this is a very rare item that may prove interesting for you and may prove beneficial in your travels.
I take the bag.
Okay.
Should I open this bag?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why not.
Do what you want.
I'm gonna open the bag.
It is very dark in this bag.
Very dark in the bag.
There's no, like, you can't see the bottom.
I'm gonna stick my hand in it.
Okay. Roll deep percentiles for me, friend.
Oh no. Oh, I gotta find that die.
Wait, roll
That's
what?
a D100, right?
Yep. Roll D100
What did you
or
tell me to
2d10.
roll?
Deep percentiles. Because if you roll 2d10s, one of them is the 10 digit, one of them is the 1 digit, and then
Yeah.
you can get any number between 0 and 100, or 1 and 100. So it's technically a D99.
Okay, that is 90 even.
Okay. You feel when you reach in, it goes like, for being a small bag, your arm disappears up to about your forearm.
Okay.
Nothing happens. You're just,
Where did your arm go?
Mr. Eyeball, Terry, I appreciate the bag, and I think I will keep it. But I don't feel adequately compensated for what I've done for you down on these dungeons, you know.
very well. What would you like?
Another thing that's not a bag.
Are you sure? Bags are very useful.
I'll keep the bag. Don't. It's my bag.
Mm.
But I need another thing.
Very well. And he reaches. He is kind of looking. He's like, I don't know. This one. And he pulls open another drawer and pulls out what looks like a dagger with this wicked curved tip and a jeweled cross piece, just in gold and very tiny garnets and opals, leather wrapped hilt, and a ruby on the pommel about the size of a game head, like this, or it's about this big, probably half the size of a baseball. Like if you cut a baseball in half, it's just massive rubies on the pommel.
I will take that, Terry. That's just fine.
Very well. In return for this item, may I have the specimens that you are holding onto in your pocket?
Oh, I don't have any specimens, Terry.
Make a deception check.
Oh, thank God. What is my deception even? Oh, it's plus 22.
Okay.
Slippery dragon.
You got a 22?
Yes.
It's like the bugbear stealth thing.
Where are your notes? He looks right at you. He's like, I appear to be missing several specimen containers from the previous room, and as you have been present for both incursions, I was under the assumption that you may have one.
Well, you see, Ronan stole all of them, and he left through another entryway. So,
Make another deception check, please.
Natural
This
20.
one. Because you beat me to the roll. I was going to say roll at disadvantage. What do I do? Yeah, roll at disadvantage. You're gonna roll at disadvantage because as you're saying this,
Okay, 2.
you stumble over your tongue a little bit, and you talk, and all of a sudden you're just like, but Ronan definitely has all of them. I definitely don't have them. Some. And Terry, Terry floats over to you and goes, and he's right up in your face, and all of his eyes are shunk. He goes, which ones do you have?
I only have one, Terry. It's a Rakshasa.
I would like the Rakshasa back, please.
Here's your Rakshasa. I'm going to hand it to his eyeball, and I don't know what I'm expecting to grab it, but...
A hand kind of spins around the body and takes it. Thank you. And as he floats back, he turns to you, Robin, and goes, I was worried about another breach like that. I'm sure that there's no... are there any others that I should be aware of?
May I have my dagger now?
I'm actually going to cock my head at him. First off, do I, as a character, know what the Rakasha is?
Rakshasa?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think Robbie has heard of a Rakshasa before.
Okay.
Given the previous conversations about a...
Did Terry give me my dagger?
Yes, Terry has carefully laid the dagger. He's handed you the dagger. He's holding it by the ruby as he turns the hand, like spins around with this dagger, and he hands it to you. And as he's holding it out to you, he goes, be very careful not to cut yourself. It's very nasty.
What kind of dagger is this?
I believe we should take an hour to identify it later.
This sounds like an excellent idea. For now, just put a dagger in my hand.
Would you like that dagger stored on a different plane of existence for the time being?
I don't think that sounds like a very good idea, because I don't know how that works, so I'm going to keep it in my pocket.
Did you try putting it in the bag?
Well, you had another question, Mike?
No, sorry, I kind of derailed there because if he doesn't know, if I don't know what that species is, I wouldn't know that they are actually sentient species, and I have no ground to yell at him about right now.
Okay.
So
he floats back over to the corner and goes, is there anything else I can get for you before you all return?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so, no.
Do you have any tankards of ale, inkwells, or other fluids to distribute?
Inkwells? Robbie, what is wrong with you?
He turns back to the wall and just all the hands, normally they've been equally spaced around him, all the hands just turn to his face and he's just going, and they're all drumming against each other. And because it's like a wave, and it's just this steady drumming like rain on a roof as he's thinking. And he goes, yes. And he pulls open another drawer and pulls out a similar bag. This one is just black. And he goes, this is every inkwell that I've found in my very long time here, from subjects. This is absolutely yours. Not very many tankards. I do have as well. And while he's looking at you, pulls open another one, pulls out a silver bag and goes, these are all the flasks. Most of them are filled with something vile, and I assume is only used for cleaning. But this is also yours to take as well. Frees up storage on my end.
Excellent. I have seen both of these things used, and I'm gonna reach into the haversack to pull out one of the twist and shout tankards and go, please accept.
Thank you, sir. Before you go, I did have one question. Speaking of
By the way, I put neither of those bags in the haversack. I attached them to different points on my belt.
Thank you. Speaking of acquisitions, I do have a question about the protocol that you gave me before you went on this event. We can speak privately if you would like.
And I just switched to static. I go, you may speak freely now.
I understand, given the new protocol that you gave me, not to acquire any intelligent species. While the definition of intelligent remains flexible, I feel that there are several that definitely fall under that qualification. What would you, as the speaker for the Primus, what would you like me to do with these?
Do you understand autonomy?
Uniquely so, I would think.
How would you feel if your autonomy was stripped from you?
And he looks away from you with all the eyes except the black one, and he goes, vexed, I would think.
I was born without autonomy, and I was granted it later. These creatures will not appreciate losing that after they have been born with it.
Would you like me to release them?
I believe that would be best. If they choose to come back to you, that is their choice, but you cannot remove choice from these creatures. Sentience means a lot to the organics.
I will attempt to return them to where I found them. But that may prove difficult or impossible for some.
If their species...
Is he telling the truth?
Yes. You can't understand the language, but he's being honest.
Yeah. Okay.
What will make it difficult for some of these creatures?
The Kraken, as an example, is difficult to transport and has been here a very long time. I feel it maybe
you can keep the old man Kraken. Oh wait, I can't understand.
This is all in Modron, so yeah.
Bitch.
You can returning it to where it was acquired is impossible because that ocean has since dried up. And releasing that into a different ecosystem would prove disastrous and also more harmful to the other intelligent species around it. I feel like that would cause more harm than keeping it here.
You will need to have a chat with this Kraken. I believe returning it to an environment in which it is not native will destroy the environment. The organics seem to be concerned with that as well in certain areas.
Indeed. I will offer them the choice to stay or leave. I will keep no secrets from them. I'm slightly concerned what this may do to some of the original communities when creatures and people that have vanished come back, but if it is what the Primus demands, then I will do it.
Again, autonomy is important for all. Please do not strip it from any more beings.
Very well. I will do as you ask. And he switches back to common. He goes, thank you again, and gestures towards the western door where there is a small phalanx. This one is probably 4 of them in a little tiny square, standing by the door, sort of at attention. Greetings and salutations. Follow us to the exit, please.
I have to do it. I have to go through the hello, I am Robbie to every single one of them.
Do it.
Do it. You get the first, you go, hello, and they all swivel to you and go, hello, speaker.
Hello, I am Robbie. Is speaker a title?
And Terry goes, yeah, don't mind them. They're very eager to meet a new mechanical face. After looking at organics for so long, they kind of get bored. You exist uniquely to them. Please don't. They don't mean any harm by it.
Thank you. Speaker.
I think that means you say words, Robbie.
I do say many words.
Yes. I've counted at least 6.
I have counted many more than that, but I believe that I can process that count faster than you.
I can't count very high, Robbie. You just said definitely more than 6 words, so now I'm lost.
Speaker, if you'll come with us, we will take you to the exit.
Excellent. Out of character question. How many toes and fingers does your character have?
I don't know.
Are you rocking 3 digits on each hand? Because that just made a lot of sense.
Is it? It might be 2 and a thumb. It might be, or is it 3 and a thumb? Is he Yoda?
I think it's Ninja Turtle-y. It's Ninja Turtle.
Oh, you got the
yeah.
Yeah, you're like half past Vulcan.
Like a 3-toed sloth.
I will have to teach you that there are 2 extra numbers that you can add with the digits that you can count with.
Really?
Wait, do dragons count in base 6? Oh no! I have to redefine counting for the dragonborn. Anyway,
glad to put that headache on you. Thank you.
As you all make your exit, you're led down the hallway that you came through, and beyond. You come to the doorway on your right. That as the Modrons come up to it, the door slides open and you see the pile of rubble that you came down in from that collapsed cave outside. It looks coming through. It looks like moonlight is starting to come through this cavernous abyss. The hallway extending out in front of you looks like is lit, and it looks like it goes on forever. The hallway that was blocked off because of the breach has now opened and just goes on and on and on.
I'm gonna remember that.
Okay.
Please take note.
This.
So the little squad of Bodrons are standing by the they're basically holding the door open for you. And they're like,
yeah, I'm good with just leaving. Is it nighttime outside?
It is nighttime.
I believe we will need a long rest soon.
I think that would be an excellent idea, Robbie. I am quite tired.
Sounds like a good idea.
Would you like to do that up top or down below? I would feel much safer up top.
I will defer to you. I have no preference to being in air or out of air.
Let's go take a nap in the air with the trees. I miss trees.
As you guys start to climb the rubble, one of the Modron goes, Speaker, your companion is waiting for you up top as well. Please, stay safe. We will seal this door from our end. Thank you. And they step back, and the door goes, and you hear electricity crackling, and you see like the rim around the door start to just heat up as they seal it behind you.
They are still coming through.
I believe the menageries pose a large problem with any plane that they exist in. We will have to assess this later. I do not think that we could handle that menagerie on our own, though.
I think we should have planted some explosives down there and blown that bitch sky high.
Do you have
I
possessive?
actually agree with Lamy.
Do you possess explosives on you?
I'm gonna look around my person. Nope.
Did you check the bag?
I looked in the bag. There was nothing in the bag.
I have a suggestion, as my bag seems to respond similarly to yours. Think of the term explosive, and then put your hand in.
Okay. I will think of explosives, and I'll put my hand in.
Roll D100 again, please. D100s don't get enough use. I feel like
No, they don't.
Pulls his hand out, and there's just a ferret hanging from his pinky.
One off. 68.
Almost nice. You reach your hand in, and you come up holding this yellow, smelly rock.
I can't
It is.
smell it.
It's bad. It is not a pleasant smell. It smells like sulfur.
Ooh.
It smells like rotten eggs.
What do you propose we do with this smelly rock, Robbie?
That smelly rock. I cannot smell it. What does it smell like?
Rotten eggs.
Ah, I do believe that this can be used to create an explosive.
Should we keep it? Should we
Of course.
explode? Okay. We don't want to explode the tunnel?
I do not believe I possess the necessary tools to create an explosive out of this rock currently.
Me either. I'm gonna put the smelly rock back in the bag and see what happens.
Are you okay? You're just putting your hand back in the bag. Roll d10s again.
But I'm just gonna put the rock in
You're
the
just
bag.
gonna drop it in. Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. So yeah, you know, like boop, chuck it back in there.
Is this to see if the bag eats his hand? Is that-
Don't know. Guess we'll find out when you roll it.
Just grows little eyes, and you're like,
Oh my god, it's like the Monster Book of Monsters on a fucking bag of holding.
So as you guys make your way up, you manage to work your way up through the mouth of the cave. And sitting at the mouth of the cave with a small fire going is Keelik. Just sitting on a rock with the glaive across his knees, the small fire going next to him, and just looking out into the woods.
Because he's stupid.
And he doesn't do or say anything as he hears you approach.
Hello.
You're still here?
Kind of looks over his shoulder and goes, I said I would wait for you. So here I am.
I believe there is one very important question to ask, as we seem to have been interplanar. How long were we gone?
Few hours.
Thank you.
Nothing
And I'm gonna
unusual.
I'm gonna start shuffling off to the side as though we've already decided this is where camp is, and start setting up to do the power down that I do.
Mhm.
That's my
Keelik uses his glaive to stand up. He walks over to you, Thrall, and goes, May I have a word with you?
Sure.
And he kind of takes a few steps outside of the mouth of the cave. There's like a small stone outcropping. And he kind of walks out and he sits down. You can still see the light of the fire. And if you had to shout for help, you're close enough, but the shape of the stones and with the wind that's blowing through, no one's going to be listening to your conversation. And goes, since I pledged my life, since I gave you my life, you've placed me in a very interesting predicament.
And what would that be?
What do you know about my people?
Not much.
When I was younger and learning to fight and hunt and war with the other bugbear tribes, my mentor taught me to only give your life if you feel that the person you're giving it to will spare you and is worth and is honorable, is not someone who will throw your life away and will respect the sacrifice that you've given them. And I thought I had. You fought to protect your friends and protect others. And I thought I had made the correct choice. You even killed a deep god, something that my people have thought to be impossible. And that makes you not evil. That does not make you an evil person, and that makes me glad to be yours. But you took an innocent life. And that is not something that I can stomach, while also thinking that you are a good person.
I wasn't in control of when that happened. I was resisting the urge to do it 100%. Wasn't trying to kill anybody.
But the sword was in your hands.
Correct.
And it's your responsibility when you use it. Now, I think, from what you've said, we have stories. There are people called Ichiks. They are men. They are good people. Good men and women that have something inside them. A demon, a spirit, or just something in them that they have to fight. You were not... When we fought before, you were not this way. And I do not like thinking that the person I gave my life to is an Ichik. Do you have anything else you wish to say to me before I tell you what I've thought? What I've resolved to do?
That whole situation wasn't the result of this Ichik. It was the sword. Ever since I was given this sword, it finally did something when we were down in the menagerie, and I couldn't control it. I think I have a handle on it now, but it's been too short of a time to really tell.
What do you fight for? Why do you pick up that sword? That thing that can control you? Why do you use it? Why not take this? And he hands up the glaive. He goes, why not take this back?
At this point, I don't want this falling into the wrong hands. Somebody that would give in to it, killing innocents.
All right. I put myself in your position and thought, what would I do? And honestly, I thought something very similar. So I will still fight with you. And my life is still in your hands. But know this. And he stands up and looks you dead in the eyes. And there is a steely resolution, and there's this burning resolve in his eyes. He goes, if you take another innocent life, be prepared to take mine. Good night. And he turns and walks back to the campfire.
That was heavy.
That fucking music, though.
The music
little guitar
decrescendoed.
ring.
It decrescendoed as it happened, and
I
then
can
yeah,
time that
bling.
shit perfectly.
Good night.
So
I'm sad.
the next
Thought we were gonna have a breakup going on.
That's what I was like. Oh god.
So you guys
I actually thought there was going to be a fight. That's what I thought was going to happen.
So who wants first watch?
I'll
I'll
take
do it.
every watch.
Oh yeah, never
yeah,
mind.
like-
You guys, you have two robots. Frank, so when you post up, Frank, when Keelik goes and lies down, Frank kind of looks around and takes his spear and like walks over, and he sits down on the rock where Keelik was sitting, and like he settles himself with his spear up, and then he takes the spear and kind of settles it across his knees. And then he does that thing that machines do where they set something down and they like make a micro correction to it.
Mhm.
So it's at the end. So he sets it down and tweaks it a little bit, and he like shifts his knees and tweaks it a little bit. So he is mimicking the way that Keelik was sitting. Because everyone's Robbie, your perception I think is high enough to notice that he's sitting the exact same way that Keelik was sitting. I can't believe I didn't pull this document up.
It's my hippogriff here.
Hippogriff is not there.
10-4.
Helga is not there.
He's off eating a platypus somewhere or something.
So actually, Lami, you noticed that not Robbie, because currently Frank has the highest passive perception out of everybody in the room.
Woo!
Frank is a 14. So Lami, you notice as you're kind of settling in for bed that Frank sits on the rock and is like making micro corrections to perfectly mimic the way Keelik was sitting on this rock as he kind of sits and waits.
Robbie just kind of stands next to him. His shoulders slump a little bit. Like it looks like a guy getting really, really tired. And like we did the last time, his eyes dim but don't go completely out. And his head just starts going back and forth, like on a swivel.
Mm-hmm. Robbie or Frank starts doing that as well. So there's just these two sentinels just pinging back and forth. Is there anything that the other two want to do before you go to bed?
I'm just going to pass out.
Okay. Cool.
Do I get to mark long rest?
Yes, you guys get a full long rest.
Nap time.
Oh man, all those once a day spells I have. There are actually two.
Robbie, as you guys are on watch, you do hear some pretty sizable wildlife shuffling around, but it all keeps a fair distance from you with the fire and everything. So these woods are not completely isolated.
Good thing Ronan's not here. He'd go steal their beaks.
I would.
He would indeed. So
Are there owl bears?
It's D&D, not Monster Hunter.
Imagine,
yes, there's a great Jagras in those roads. Roll initiative.
imagine you're riding a bicycle at night.
Who
trying
brought
to
their
pick up
hunting
a,
horn?
burrito with your feet.
Let's take this opportunity to switch to the other party.
Have fun, guys.
Good luck.
I'm glad.
That was a heavy, like half thing right there.
Yeah,
That was heavy.
that's
deep.
that's been percolating for 3 episodes since Keelik left. That's what he's been thinking about.
Well, not just that, like the conversation with Terry and everything else.
For 3 weeks.
I wish Rachel's camera was on for the time when Terry went, putting the Kraken back might be a problem. So let's let that out.
Hey, you guys did ask for all sentient creatures.
We did.
Oh, I didn't.
Well, to be fair, because the talk about autonomy has been sitting in my head since Ronan looked at Robbie and went, how do you feel about slavery? And I didn't really, I side-skirted the answer for a little while. So
those conversations were really what I was the most worried about for this episode. There was a lot of prep time going into those. But awesome fucking job, you guys. Thank you for making that as awesome as it was.
We try.
Wait, does
I
that
got a
what you
sweet
had written
dagger
down
in a
from Keelik?
bag that does things.
Sorry, say again.
That whole
Say again.
Keelik situation about him, the whole making it so it's at least we know where it's at instead of it's somewhere where it's not. The sword's in somebody else's hands. That's.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if you actually had that written down or that was on the fly.
I won't tell you.
thing.
I won't tell you. A lot of that was Keelik had several hours to sit and like build a camp and then just sit and think. He's literally by himself in the woods with a nightmarish hellscape behind him full of a dead god, among other things. And he's like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna stay out here and have a good think.
I'm also really happy that he said a couple of hours and not a couple of weeks.
No.
Been there before.
All of your internal, I didn't chuck y'all off in the Feywild. Your biological and mechanical clocks your circadian rhythms are pretty much spot on. Plus or minus a couple of minutes, which if you're Robbie and Frank are the only people that can detect chime changes that small. So we're good. We Gucci. So now that happened, we'll circle up to Team Humdrum V. Team, there's like 8 of you underground. Team 8 underground.
Are we counting the Russians, or are we not?
We're counting. So there's 9 of you? Because there's the 3. There's Bulber, Dolan, and Gretla, Marisha, and then like the 5 of you. Regardless, this goon squad
3,
is
4. 4 players plus dog.
Yeah, so 9. There's 9 of you.
Plus dog.
Plus dog. Dog
So
is
the
important.
normal size.
It's like a regular party. We'll wait for the train to go by. It was like a headbutt that kind of hurt. Anyway, so the 9 of you are moving at a pretty good pace through some pretty sizable tunnels. These are significantly larger than the 4 foot by 4 foot tunnel you guys crawled through. This is like full size, doing normal tunnely things. They're very natural formation. There are offshooting tunnels to left and right, but Gretla has actually taken the lead and is sort of taking this group off through these tunnels. You know, there's a couple times where she stops to look at a couple of what looks like writing on the wall in Gnomish, and then she kind of nods to herself and keeps going. Towards the back of the group, Maury and Doland are having a rather in-depth conversation in Gnomish. And Bulber is bringing up the rear, sort of making sure that nobody really lags behind, and also giving Maury and Doland a little bit of space for their conversation. And you guys truck for a while. You guys, as far as you can tell, you guys have been walking for about 90 minutes, and just through a couple of twisting, mazing tunnels. And aside from the gnomish conversation in the back, neither of the other gnomes are really saying anything. Marisha had a head of steam about just bitching about the walk, but eventually that just kind of petered out, and she's just kind of walking angrily. She's just kind of got her head down, and she's just kind of huffing about it.
Literally imagining Princess Vespa in the desert with her
Not
oversized
far off. Cora is not barf. Cora would not be carrying Her Royal Highness's matched luggage. But like
Royal Highness's matched luggage.
But she's kind of got that, not quite princess walk, but she's definitely like, I'm pissed and I'm just walking.
Wait, really quick. I'm assuming Thalia, Ronan, and me are probably close together since we don't know them, right? Like, could I whisper to Thalia if I wanted to?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Without metagaming, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna whisper to Thalia in Sylvan, but I'm gonna just be like, "Whoa, hello, Mike's crotch." That's not what I'm gonna whisper, but
Thanks for not whispering that.
I'm just gonna whisper like, "You understand Sylvan, correct?" I don't know if she does. I forget.
There's no response.
Shit. I have a lot of languages to play with here. I'm gonna whisper in Elvish.
I like this game.
I'm gonna whisper in Elvish. Can you hear me now?
Do you need something? I'm replying in common. You okay?
I'm gonna look at her. Do you speak anything that's not common?
Yeah, couple languages.
Like what? I want to speak in common.
Like, Celestial?
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Fuck.
Draconic?
Oh! All of a sudden, I feel like Lythar's voice would get way deeper, because I feel like Draconic's a way, like, darker, like, the power of Morgoth. Not actually like that. But I'm gonna...
Draconic is a more guttural language. It's like it's written very similarly to Dwarvish. And so a lot of times it's like when you talk with a Scottish accent, your voice gets a little deeper because that's how you have to talk. It's kind of like that. So like even if you're
I'm an elf and I don't know if I can do that, but I'm gonna try.
Even if you just talk like that, that's fine.
Okay. So
hello, I'm Patrick Warburton.
So I'm gonna whisper to Thalia, and I'm just gonna be like, "Is this Morticia lady actually as powerful as you think she is? Because I don't know about her."
I think I had the wrong impression at first. I
think so too.
I'm not quite sure.
I'm not saying we should, sell her for money, but
well, that's a good start.
I don't know how long I can deal with this. I have to admit, I just want to get out and. But I just want to make sure we're on the same page. If we get into trouble, she's not going to blow us all up like we originally kind of thought she could. So this could be a liability issue.
It's hard to tell, but I don't think she's dangerous the way I thought at first.
Oh, she seems dangerous, but not in that way. But okay, I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page, because what I was imagining originally was scary sorceress, and I don't think that's what we got.
You never know.
And then I'm gonna look at Ronan and say in common, "Hello, buddy."
Well, hello there, friend, and I'm gonna slap him in the back.
And then I'm gonna whisper to Ronan, "Don't worry, we weren't talking about you."
Oh, Ronan is now worried that they were talking about him.
No!
Don't listen to him, Ronan. Don't listen to him.
I'm gonna slap him on the back. No, I'm worried about our new friends. Don't worry.
Yes.
Marisha kind of.
Oh yes.
She kind of hangs back and she goes, "So if you're not talking about him, and you're clearly speaking in, not gnomish or common, who are you worried about?"
I'm just gonna.
He had a nut problem a while ago.
My mouth was open, ready to talk, and then Thalia says it, and I go. And then I'm just gonna pet Cora on the head.
Okay. Are you like his doctor?
God, no. I'm just...
Girlfriend?
Nope. I'm just the person he decided to try to explain that to.
Okay.
Lythar.
Yes.
Take it away.
Listen, Your Highness. This is not a story.
No. What? No. Don't. Do you know who I am?
No. But you're giving off Your Highness
royalty.
vibes.
I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
Because I got fucking kidnapped. Wouldn't you be pissed off, or is that are you into that? Is that why you have a nut problem? I think that might be what's going on with you. You don't get mad at the right things. I'm pissed off because I am way underground, surrounded by people that I have no idea who any of you are, and I would like to get out of this cave and go on my own merry way. That's all I want.
And that's what we're trying to do.
The last thing I want is you to think I'm some stuck-up royal bitch. I'm kind of a bitch right now, and I get that.
I'm like, you are. Yes.
So who are you?
My name's Marisha, like I said.
Okay.
I
You were just walking around here?
I had hitched a ride with a caravan, and I was, kind of walking towards Long Pipe, and they took a turn, and I was like, cool, I'll see you guys later, and was walking through this mountain pass, and the next thing I know, you're talking to me in some language I don't fully understand, and these bastards have, woken me up. So again, I'm a little pissed, but that's mostly because of, the abduction.
It sucks. Yeah.
I'm not royalty. Don't call me Your Highness.
Won't ever again. Didn't want to in the first place.
Call
I'll be
me
honest.
Marisha, and we'll be just fine. How much longer do we have to go before I can finally be free of this shit? And Gretla goes, not much further, which is the same thing she has said every time Marisha has asked how much further they have to go.
It's like, are we there yet?
We'll get there when we get there.
Can I insight Gretla to see if she's like...
Sure.
She seems
Give
like
me an
she's
insight check.
telling the truth or some shit. I'm so good at these. Oh, wow! That's a +0, 19.
Ooh.
I'm so bad at this. Let me pull up her character sheet.
Oh, she has a character sheet. On a side note, I found a box of candy canes.
I wouldn't trust those.
Feel good.
Cool. She's... You can't really tell. She's definitely like, we're getting there. She's also getting very, very tired of Marisha's bullshit. As is kind of the general vibe of the rest of the group. But yeah, you're getting there. You're making headway.
Dope.
So what was bringing you to Long Pike?
Well, I was... chasing a rumor. That's kind of what I do.
I'm going to be like, did it happen to be the rumor of the Cherry Fairy?
No, but I'm intrigued. And she like, she's like, what? That's one I've never heard of. I've heard a lot of stories about fairies. I've never heard of a fruit fairy or the cherry fairy before.
Well, maybe if you come to Long Pike with us, we will meet someone once again who could explain who the Cherry Fairy is and have a conversation.
Okay. Well, I was headed to Long Pike anyway, and apparently this place isn't safe for someone to walk by themselves, despite what I was informed. Thanks, Father. I will, if you guys have room to bring along someone to Long Pike.
This isn't what I wanted to do. Fuck.
Is that out loud or is that in your head?
That's in my head.
Okay.
That's me thinking out loud.
If you're going to Long Pike, I don't mind someone who I can typically handle myself until I get ambushed by 3 people in an alley or in a mountain pass.
Well, if you're going to Long Pike, and we're going to Long Pike, I don't see a reason to risk you being abducted again. Especially if it means we all have to listen to you complain about it.
You hear a Bulba go, don't worry, we won't be kidnapping this one again. She's too loud and obnoxious. And she goes, yeah, I'm sorry I was screaming when you tried to sedate me. He goes, it's also you took twice as big of a dose. I'm running low. I literally can't kidnap you again. It's practicality at this point. She goes, thanks, big guy. He goes, no problem.
No problem.
So I'm gonna look at her and go, so exactly, what do you do and why are you going to Long Pike?
like I said, was chasing a rumor.
What rumor?
Oh, you actually have a candy cane. Holy
Yes,
shit.
I have a
just
candy
realized-
cane. I have a whole box of candy canes.
Why?
Nice.
Teeth are gonna fall out.
Nice.
Nice. So, she's like, I can't really go into it. I don't really like telling people what I do, but I chase rumors, find out if they're true or not, and sometimes it's helpful. This one I was gonna go talk to. There's an illusion lady in Long Pike that my boss sent me to go talk to.
Are you with the Brotherhood?
Brotherhood? No. The bunch of pencil pushers? Nah. Do my own thing.
That's fair.
She called you a pencil pusher.
Nah, I don't sit in a dusty place. I get out and I find shit the Brotherhood doesn't want anybody to find out.
He gets
Or doesn't find out.
She gets poopy.
Are we
They're
there
chasing
yet?
a rumor.
Sorry.
No,
Gretla
go for it.
Gretla's like, almost. Keep trudging. Sorry, you can go now.
No, I didn't really have anything.
Okay. It's another probably 40 minutes. And then Gretla comes to a dead end wall. She goes, well, here we are.
That's
This is
a
your
wall.
stop. Yeah. It's your way out of here.
Is it an illusion?
I run at the wall.
Okay, give me
9 3/4.
give me a strength check. Yeah, athletics. Give me an athletics. check.
Athletics. Ooh, that is a 12.
So you bull rush. Are you thinking back to the one in the sewers?
Yes. So I'm not
Okay.
trying to like.
You're not trying to bust through the stone. You're waiting for it to be an illusion.
Yeah.
Um,
Not with my
Gret-
face. I'm still like aiming with shoulder.
shoulder charging. So you shoulder charge this thing, and you hit, and your shoulder you feel the wall give a little bit, but it kind of just there's a small crater where your shoulder hits. There's this crunch, and then you kind of bounce off it, and Gretla is like has her hand like up to do something, and she's like, do you mind? Do you know how long it took me to make this door?
Oh, it's a door. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
apologize.
if you give me just a moment, I will open it for you. Allow me. And she kind of does the same thing Bulber did with where the tube where Marisha was kept. She like taps on it, and it's just like a pressure, like a false door just pops forward. And she gets her fingers in and swings it open, and there's like there's a ramp that leads up and out of this thing. This ramp is big enough to fit a cart through, and probably some kind of animal to pull it. This is a like industrial ramp. She's like, "You're here, princess. Let's go." Marisha's like, "I told you not to call me princess." And Marisha's just glaring at her, and Gretla's just sitting there, arms crossed, not just completely. It's the mom stare. Thalia, you recognize it's that instructor stare where they're just like, it's the you didn't do your homework, so why are you coming to me for extra credit? Like, no sympathy, no real, just like get out of my office. And Marisha caves first, and she's like, ugh. She storms out up the ramp.
I'll follow.
Okay. What are the other two doing?
I'm going to look at the three of them and go, so, you all said you were going to stop the slavery shenanigans, right?
And Dolan breaks off his conversation with Maury. And he's like, don't worry. There will be no more slaving. Especially if you are all going after Skiggy, there won't be many people to sell to anymore. So let's get out of that business while it's still good.
Is he? Can I see if he's lying? Can I roll insight for that?
Give me an insight check.
I feel like I did this before. That is a 17.
He seems on the level, as far
Okay.
as you can tell. He seems earnest and genuine. He, as Maury's walking by, Dolan grabs him and goes, I hope that what I told you, I hope he doesn't find out that I told you that. You get me? And Maury's like, yeah, no, I understand. I got you. Keeping it quiet. Dolan's like, thank you. Now, safe travels, all of you, and if our paths cross again, I hope they don't. And the door just.
Oh,
and
did I go out the door? I didn't want to leave yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have something you wanted to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna take out 200 gold and hand it to Dolan.
And so, like, as he's kind of gesturing out, you pull out
Mhm.
200 gold, and he's like, "This is unexpectedly generous."
I understand that you're giving up the way that you make money. But considering that you have taken the step to do that, I just wish I could help you more.
Thank you.
I curtsy and leave. Natural 20!
It's
Yeah!
pristine. It is the most gorgeous curtsy. It's bolstered by that feeling that you just did a really good thing. And you give this curtsy, and Dolan looks like he had something to say, and then the curtsy just like blew his mind out the back of his head and smeared it across the cave wall. And he's just kind of standing there dumbfounded as you make your way up the ramp. And
What?
Sorry, go ahead, Lather.
No, you keep going. Just don't close the door yet.
Oh, because go, because that was like.
I was
thought
gonna say,
everyone was
like, as he's like dumbfounded, like, I'm gonna walk after Ronan, and without saying a word, like, while I'm walking away, all of a sudden I'm gonna pitch back 100 gold because I ain't that fucking generous. I mean, I need money. But
Do you
I'm not.
have, like, in a bag, or are you just throwing change at him?
Jingle,
No,
jingle!
like a coin
Like
purse
a
little
coin
bag.
purse?
Yeah,
Cool.
like just.
It's your dex is high enough that I'm not gonna make you roll for it. It's just a beautiful, just like over the shoulder throw. It looks cool. Unfortunately, everyone else is in front of you and doesn't notice the cool throw.
It's okay. It was for
Except
him.
Cora. Cora,
Yeah.
who's pacing with you, she kind of like watches this bag just arc.
Does he catch it? Does he need the roll?
He
for
doesn't,
that?
because he's still dumbfounded.
Does it just hit him in the face?
Bulber reaches out and catches it before it hits him in the chest. He's just like, bam, and hands it to him. And Dolan is like holding these 2 bags of money and knows about the money that I think Thalia gave him separately from the previous session. Also, make sure you're marking down the money you're spending.
Yeah, I just.
And as the door is closing behind you, you hear like a quiet "Thank you" as it shuts. And behind you, this looks like if there wasn't for the shoulder-shaped pushing out extrusion, that's the word I wanted, shoulder-shaped extrusion from this wall, it would look like a perfectly natural cave wall. And as you guys go up this ramp, you make your way up, and you're in the middle of like, you're basically right off a mountain pass. You are considerably deeper into this mountain range than you guys were when you started. And
What time is
it is night.
Good thing you have a ranger. Woo!
It is it's judging from where the moon is at, Lythar, it's probably close to midnight.
All right. All
You guys did a lot of
right.
walking.
So the question is, do we make camp or do we just leave?
Is there any way I can? Is there any way I can gauge of how long it would possibly take? Excuse me, to get to Long Pike.
You'd have to climb up a mountain or you'd have to get more altitude to try and see the surrounding terrain because you're in the middle of two mountains at this point.
Well, I'm gonna
I
look
can
at everybody
close
and
that
just be like, "Well, how tired is everybody? We did walk quite a bit."
It's been a long day. Marisha, do you wanna?
I would love a nap. I know I've been
I-
sleeping for a while, but I would
I
like to make
assume
sure that I'm not
so.
drugged. If that's all right with everyone. She throws like a kind of venomous glaze around the group. Do we know which way Long Pike is before we fall asleep and totally lose what's going on?
Don't you worry. You are currently with Lythar, Galandalel, the Ranger. We'll find a way back. Don't worry.
Was that supposed to be impressive, or do you always introduce yourself like that?
I have to admit, I've actually never tried doing that before.
Usually, it's a lot more awkward.
Yeah, I'm getting better.
I'm gonna
I
clap.
lived,
He's working on it.
I'll take that over the awkward.
I'm just gonna be like, I lived in the woods for years and talked to nobody. These people were the first people I talked to in years. All right.
I can tell. Yeah, work on it. There's definitely room for improvement.
I love
But it's not
hearing
bad.
that from you.
So you guys want to set up a camp and take a nap?
Yeah.
Take 8 hours of sleep.
Hey, senor.
Cool. Nothing you guys want to do before you fall asleep?
I'll take first watch. Well, I don't really sleep either. I mean, I take like meditations, but I'll definitely watch.
Your meditation for 4 hours is basically like you're in a self-induced
Right.
coma for 4 hours.
But do I like need to do that every certain amount of time necessarily? As much as sleep?
Every 24?
And how long have we
'Cause
been
that's-
going through this cave?
It's been a long day.
Elves need to take their 4-hour meditation or they suffer exhaustion based on how many hours they don't sleep.
So it's
for.
basically like how a human needs to sleep, but I only
Yep.
need 4 hours.
You
instead
just
of,
need
like,
half
8
the
hours.
time
Yeah.
and
okay.
can't be magically put to sleep.
Yeah.
I'll
Thanks,
take
wizards.
I'll take the first shift. I
Okay.
will take the first shift of watch if that is okay with everybody.
Sure.
Who has the second watch? Who do I wake up?
I'll do it.
All right. I didn't know. what to
I'll
say. All right.
Marisha puts up her hand. She's like, I'll take third watch. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I don't know where the hell I am. So everyone,
Long rest.
yep, everybody settles in for a long rest. I think that's a good point to take a break.
Yay.
Should
we,
I
like,
click
confirming
the
everyone
long
gets
rest
the
button?
Yeah.
Hit that long
Okay.
rest button.
Sweet.
I was
Sweet
like,
long
should I
rest.
hit it or are we gonna get attacked by some shit? Okay.
Smash that long rest button. Baby.
So welcome back from a hopefully productive and relaxing 10-minute break. Let's jump right back into it.
Give it to me, baby. Give it.
Let's kick back to Team Funvi.
The Fun V.
The Funvi's back. We'll lead with Hi Rachel, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm just trying to save my laptop. It's been behaving tonight, and I want to keep it that way.
Excellent. Morning comes for everybody, but we'll start with the 4 of you. 5 of you now that Keeling is back. And you guys wake up. There's, trail. There's kind of pack rations for you guys. Nothing fresh.
There are we have there are 3 tankards of ale sitting on a rock, waiting.
All different locations? Or are they all twist and shout?
Yes.
So yeah, there are 3 cold beers sitting on a rock for you.
There is 1 inkwell sitting out for Frank.
Okay.
Bro, I checked my email and my camera freezes. Really?
So
God damn it! Hold on.
yeah, there's beers out for the organics, the people who can actually drink, and there's an inkwell for Frank, who has not moved an inch since he took that. Since he sat down on that rock, he has not moved, aside from scanning the area like Frank does, or like Robbie does. Too many robots. So yeah, Keelik is. It's hard to say back to your old self because it's been like a day since you picked him up, but he seems fairly up and about. He's kind of he's putting out the fire and handling camp activities.
I would like to have a conversation with Lami while he is donning his armor.
Perfect.
Pardon me, but
Yes.
you are a warrior of, I believe you call it the cloth, correct?
Yes, you would be correct.
Terry said something interesting in there, and I would like to know, have you had a similar experience? Is your god different than who they used to be? Have they died? Is there another one? Have they been replaced?
I don't think so. She's this lovely blue dragony lady, big wings. But
Can we speak
no,
with her?
I could attempt to.
Could you put me in on the line? I believe they say.
I'm not quite sure if my lovely dragon lady does group chats.
Interesting.
You know it's bad when our religious metaphor is a technology that they got rid of about 20 years ago. Yeah, can I hook up with your god on a party line? Is that
Get on the
cool?
line, please. That'd be great.
I
Do
am
you call your god collect?
1-800 Dragon God Go.
Anyway, continue. I don't know. I don't know where we
Alright.
left off.
I suppose we could try. What could go wrong?
Very much could go wrong at any time, but I am prepared for that.
I like it. So, do you want to try it?
When you are ready, yes. Do you think that we should try to hook up with the rest of the party before?
I mean, this was your question, not their question. Do you think we should involve them?
From my understanding, gods are eternal, and they can wait.
I would agree with you in that sense.
Excellent.
Let's
Shall we
go
try
to
after
the
we
party.
correct?
Let's... Let's go tell the rest of the party.
Hey, Lobby,
I have
what's the rest of this ale?
Yes, but first Robbie has a thing he wants to explain to you all. And to be frank, I'm quite confused, but he wants you involved as well.
When you say
You are not
Frank,
Frank.
his head turns and looks at you. And it spins a little further than it should on a human. Than it would on a normal, like, Warforged or human. It's just like 10 degrees further. It's not like an owl, but it's definitely enough to kind of freak you out a little bit. Also, are you chugging that beer?
No, No, I told him I wanted him to talk to Robbie
Great.
first.
Pardon me for the train.
All right,
The
try.
metro is working as usual. A horrific screech comes down from the mountains. It's the metro.
Last light.
Roll initiative. It goes last because it's 15 minutes late.
It's like the Thomas the Tank Engine mod for Skyrim.
You mean the best
What's
mod for
that?
Skyrim?
Yes.
Anyway, so
What's
yeah,
Skyrim?
don't know at this point. I'm just. Anyway, so Robbie, you had a thing to tell everybody.
Have we reconvened the party? I thought we were just waking up.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to tell it because Josh or Lami was saying you wanted to tell people now, or are you waiting till y'all are back in Long Pike?
Well, we would have to be all together again.
Cool. We'll put a pin in that conversation. So Lami, are you having that beer?
Yep.
Okay. Give me a con save.
Are there eggs too? Can I have eggs?
There's no eggs this morning.
Just beer and con saves.
Right away.
I can go hunting for eggs. That would be fun. My survival is a 0.
Thanks for my constitution. Thank you for the save. Okay, that's an 18.
Okay. You're drinking this beer, and it tastes good, and then it starts to burn.
I don't like this game.
It starts to it's like when you've after you've smoked and you drink something like a carbonated, like you drink a beer after you just smoked a cigarette and your tongue is burnt, and it's like it's that kind of pain. It's that painful kind of tingling burnt sensation. But it keeps going as you swallow.
Am I
Clicking a 9-volt.
Am I cursed? I'm going for a fiery burp. That's what's gonna happen. Just a big old...
You go to burp, and it's you kind of it's like, and it kind of just comes out in a congealed blob.
Ew.
The beer's like a loogie, and it just lands on the rock and just sits there.
Please don't say it
Congealed.
starts talking to us.
It does not. It just
That ain't normal reaction.
Well, that was strange.
What was that?
I'm not quite sure. My body seems to be rejecting beer.
I'm gonna take another inkwell out of the inkwell pouch, empty it, and attempt to collect what he just hawked up on the rock.
Sure. Go for it. That's not even a roll. I think that's just you're a robot. You don't have anything to worry about. And scoop it up and pour it in. It pretty much fills the inkwell. There's not a lot left when you're done.
Does anybody have a stopper? Wait, I imagine it would have a stopper.
It has a stopper. Add 1 inkwell full of dragon loogie.
Okay.
Dragon loogie and beer, I guess is what.
Robbie, that's disgusting.
Something blew its nose, and I wish to collect it.
Jesus.
Should just fart in a glass and give it to him. Here you go.
While
Josh died.
while this strangeness is occurring, Keelik has put out the fire and kind of tidied everything up, and he's standing next to Frank with his glaive, and Frank has his spear, and they're doing, Keelik is standing there very, very relaxed, like someone who knows it's about to be a long walk. Frank is standing there very rigid, but is trying to look like he's relaxed, like he's just looking and kind of analyzing and making micro adjustments to match Keelik's pose. And Keelik just kind of looks over his shoulder and goes, "Are we good? Are we going?"
I believe so.
Are we going to talk
Boy.
about what just came out of Lami's mouth?
My tummy doesn't feel good. I don't think the ale's agreeing with me. I think it's time I
Is it
switch
just
to
that
whiskey.
one that I gave you, or did you try the other one?
What other one?
There were 3 of them.
I
There-
don't
yeah,
remember
there
which
was-
one I had. All of them have been doing weird things lately, but I think it might be a good time to just switch to whiskey. Much safer, apparently.
Or you get Lamy wine drunk.
I can only drink margaritas.
Oh no.
Well, I bet there's more, unless he's got a lot of wine in his pouch there. I think there's more wine in town. If that's all right with all of you, I'd like to head back.
That's fine with me.
We are supposed to be heading towards town.
We have to meet up with the others.
So, everybody who wants to take point.
Take point.
Okay.
Mr. Kulik.
Yep. So give me a survival check with advantage to find the trail you guys made. Unless for some reason you want to go a different direction, in which case tell me. I'll make you roll something different.
Let's go get lost. Easy peasy.
That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Great. That's with your advantage.
With the advantage.
Sweet.
If I
So
didn't
yeah,
have advantage, it'd be a 10.
you as you're like kind of picking your way down this hillside, it's very different coming down a hillside slowly rather than up it at a dead sprint like you guys had previously. But you guys are able to pick up. It's only been a day. Your trail is still pretty visible. There's these large grooves in the ground where Robbie and Frank's mechanical legs just powered into the dirt and just ripped it up. So you guys are able to make your way back pretty quickly. You do hear some sounds of wildlife around you and up ahead of you as you guys are walking, but you're making a fair, unless you guys are trying to hide your presence, you guys are making a fair amount of ruckus as you guys are making a fair amount of noise because you have a dragon and plate mail and an orc half plate or full plate.
No, I'm full plate.
Yeah, you got two dudes in full plate. You have two dudes in full plate and two robots and a bugbear.
When did you get full plate?
At the same time you got full plate.
No, I stole my full plate from the
Yeah,
store.
and then you
got
got
to
to
when I
keep it.
joined the thing.
When you joined the brotherhood, you got to keep
but
it.
I still had it.
Sorry, when you legally acquired your full plate, when you got the title and tags.
Yeah, there you go.
Just between you and I.
You stole the car and they gave you the title
I'm
anyway.
not taking my full plate in for an inspection next year.
Don't get pulled over. Here's a sticker that you just don't know about yet. So yeah, as you guys are rolling, everyone give me a perception check.
Ooh, that's a good one, boys. Because my perceptions. Okay, I'm at a 4 there.
I got a 16.
Okay.
7.
Oof. Okay. So Robbie, you're walking and you notice that Frank's head is very much on a swivel. And Frank kind of slows down a little bit as he's walking, and he shifts his spear from more of a walking stick into more of a ready position. And he's kind of walking and looking around a little more. After walking a little further, he reaches out and taps you on the shoulder. And he points to the trail in front of you. And there is a boot print going the same direction you are. That looks fairly new. That boot print showed up between you guys leaving the trail up to the cave and now.
Pardon me.
Just one boot?
One boot print.
Oh. I thought it was like a lot of one boots, like someone was like...
No, there's not a one-legged
Just
man
hopping.
going to an asking contest. No, this is one boot print left in the mud where you guys had been walking. And Frank has pointed this out to Robbie.
Sorry about that. What did I miss?
It's just like a single boot print that looks like something has somebody has walked the same path as you recently. If you wanted to make a survival check, you could probably try and figure out how fresh it is, or you can ask one of your more survival-oriented friends.
Don't ask me. I got a 4 on that check.
Pardon me, but does anybody know anything about this extra track? It seems to be causing Frank much distress.
Frank's nodding, and like he nods and then starts looking, and he's got his sword and shield up, and or his spear and shield up, and he's looking around.
Oh, if he's readying, then I've brought out the arm cannon.
Yeah, he's definitely wary. Because Frank rolled better than all y'all on that check.
Yeah, you can't roll worse than a 4. It's pretty hard.
I mean, I can attempt to make a survival check, but I am not trained in it. So if anybody would like me to help them, I will definitely do that.
I'm doing that.
Okay. Yeah, roll at advantage there, Brendan. Show.
We need life art for this.
That is a 15.
Okay. This boot is probably 3 hours old. This boot print. There's still a lot of definition of the actual print itself. Not a lot of water has settled in it. There's enough water from like morning dew, but that's about it. So it's definitely recent.
How long were we down in the menagerie?
You guys were down in the menagerie for most of the evening because you guys moved
more than 3 hours.
Yes, significantly. This print happened
okay.
Like very recently. 3 hours from where you're looking at it. It's also probably you guys have been walking for probably 30 minutes. It's probably 8 o'clock.
It looks like this boot print is fresh. Now the question is, do we follow it or do we keep going back to town?
How do we follow one boot? And who do we know that wears boots?
I don't wear boots.
I don't wear boots either.
I do not understand. I do not wear clothes, except for this jacket that you gave me.
Frank looks down at his feet and looks back up.
Should we try searching for other one? Or go back to town?
I don't know.
I would
Frank
advise
is very worried.
Reconvening with the rest of the party. Perhaps we should try to avoid whatever is out here.
It seems like the smartest option to me. Always trust a robot.
Keelik, what do you think?
Keelik pulls his eyes down from the treetops where he's been looking, and he walks over, and he kneels down next to the print, and he goes, "Shit. Do we have any way to make these two less shiny?"
Shiny, possibly not. Quieter, yes.
Refuse to be not shiny.
Not you. And he's pointing at Frank and Robbie.
Oh, I fall face down in the mud and start rolling over.
Cool. Give me. Yeah, God.
Just a straight plank right into the
Bam! And just like rolls his way into the mud.
Oh man.
Frank follows suit and rolls in with you. Give me.
If I have to. Okay,
Sorry. Is disguise even a roll anymore?
No.
Is that even a roll anymore?
Fourth edition had disguise. There was a
so
roll. There was a
old,
skill
Curtis.
for fucking everything.
If it becomes... All he said was less shiny, not quieter, so I'm not going to cast Pass Without a Trace, although it would be funny if I used the roll around to do that. Fuck it.
I
That's
would,
what I did.
I would totally like give you those benefits. For specific, so we'll make this like you're casting Pass Without a Trace for you and Frank specifically because you're covered in mud. So we'll just do that for now. And you guys just like head to toe. You go from looking like two kind of beat up, suits of armor to kind of like a muddy Sasquatch. You're just like one of them still has a hat that is just dripping mud, and the duster is just coated. It is now brown. And Keelik is just like, okay, that was quick. I know this boot print. And
What is it?
there's a woodsman around here. His name's Marcus. We've crossed paths a time or two, or three. It shouldn't be a problem. Especially now that they are less shiny than they were a minute ago. He shouldn't be too aggressive unless we are clearly threatening. But we should be fine. He just has a problem with machines, as it were.
This is a sentiment I am used to.
Yeah, I don't think he has any machine friends. But I think I'll keep my eyes out for any of his tracks, and I'll try to keep us away from some of his normal hiding spots. But I think we should be okay. It's muddy. You do that, and there's just like kunk, 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 kunk. There's like a rock or something stuck in Frank's elbow joint, and he like pulls it out. He somehow got a thumbs up. He doesn't actually he's not normally that articulated. He's just he's mimicking a thumbs up. And you guys continue walking. Give me another perception check.
Hoping for better this time, baby.
I got a 10.
What did you get, Josh?
4.
Not worse. We take those rolls where we can get them.
16.
Okay. He got... Okay. So, Robbie, you and Keelik spot the next couple of prints. It is moving in a parallel course. It is right alongside your tracks. It's kind of skipping, alternating sides, sort of as if the person's kind of meandering back and forth. Everybody give me stealth checks now.
You're counting that with the +10?
With the +10 for the two shiny boys.
You gotta do this when my dice aren't agreeing with me and I have to roll at disadvantage.
Uh-huh. Because you get +12 to everything else. I have to make you suffer.
Oh my god, that's
Okay. At this, full plates.
And I get the +10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You don't get +10. It's just the two shiny boys.
It's just the two shiny boys.
I don't
The
get
two dudes
+10.
the two dudes who covers themselves in mud.
I don't get +10.
Nope. Unless you covered yourself in mud.
Okay.
At disadvantage, I got a 16.
Jesus. All right.
You're doing a lot better than I am, buddy. I got a 5.
It's one better than 4.
Baby steps. So you guys are making your way, and Keelik's and he kind of motions you forward, and everyone's doing fine. Lami, you're surprisingly quiet. You're getting used to this whole kind of sneaking around thing. You did it a whole bunch yesterday and you're getting there. And all of a sudden you take a step. There's a rotted log that you didn't see underneath this like a hillock of dirt, and you step and your foot just crunches through it. You just go, Jesus! All the birds just scatter. And from behind you, you're what was that? Did you say something? No, I didn't say something. Did you say? It was over that way. Let's check it out. And you hear footsteps coming towards you.
I summon the sword and point the cannon in that direction.
Jeez, yeah, I'm sword.
I'm gonna
shield
put my hand on my sword.
ready to go. In a very defensive pose towards the voices, because I feel like I could hear them coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not being. You heard the voices and you're hearing rustling through the underbrush because you know what direction to listen in. And you come forward, and there's coming through the tree line is a pair of woodsmen decked out in hunting leathers with longbows, and you can see a dagger at their belt. And they come up and see you guys, and they just freeze. They're looking at you. You're all looking at them.
Hello, I am Robbie. Still with just the cannon pointed right at them.
Quiet, Robbie. Quiet, Robbie. Hello? Who are you?
What are you doing in these woods?
We were sent by Lady Cost to come investigate some things.
Hmm. What's this? Puts his
The
hands
rest
on the
of
two
that-
daggers.
The rest of that business is our own and none of yours.
Kind of looks. They're looking at all of you, and what happened to your friends? Are they all maybe fall in a puddle?
They tripped earlier. Don't worry about it.
I do not possess very good mechanics for this terrain.
Robbie, keep your mouth shut.
My mouth cannot move.
How are you talking if your mouth doesn't move?
It is easy. They have programmed me with a voice modulation box that continues to make noise as programs process through my brain.
How about you don't worry about it at all? This
One
is
of them-
my party of companions.
You see one of them robots?
No, he's not.
No, you won't mind a little test.
I don't have time for
Did
any
the
tests.
cannon, not built into my arm, give you any ideas?
I don't have time for any test you want to administer.
And he turns and
And
he
let
looks.
me ask you this. How much gold will it cost to get you to fuck off?
What do you think, Brian? Think we let him through? Yeah, Brian. He's like, well, I don't know. Where are you headed?
Back to Long Pike.
No, you're not too far from the main road. How much gold you got?
That's my business and none of yours.
If you would just step in this bag.
Well, let's see. There's what? 5 of you? Is the furry one with you? Is he one of yours?
Yes.
What if he isn't? What if he is?
Well, there's a toll, you see.
Told
say-
for what?
For
I'm
escorting
proposing-
things
I'm
that Marcus
proposing
doesn't
my-
want to find out about through these woods.
I'm proposing my own toll. I
Tell me
don't
what that-
pay you, and you fuck off, or I cut your head off.
And here I was thinking we were going to be good pals. It's not much. 50 gold a head, 25 for the little guy. And I'll point you to the nearest road, and you'll be out of these woods and out of my hair.
We don't need your directions. I'll
We're
give you
not
10
in your
gold,
hair.
and you fuck off and leave with your life. Consider the consequences.
Roll intimidation, please.
Thank you.
Does he get advantage since there's still a cannon pointed
There-
in these guys' face?
I don't need it.
I'll give that advantage.
And we'll roll again just for fun, but nope. That's a 26.
Great. Fuck do you get on it? What?
I have a +7 to intimidation.
Okay. I was like, how does that math work? So he's standing there. And he's looking at you. His buddy Brian's like, we should let them go. But what if Marcus finds? They know Marcus. We know about them. Seen him before. He wasn't in the full plate mail like he was before. I've seen that guy. Remember like a month back? When they shot, oh yeah, I remember when they shot so-and-so. Yeah, well that was them. He was with
So
them.
what's your decision, gentlemen?
Point him to the road? Yeah, we point him to the road. Get him the fuck out of here before Marcus finds out. All right. You're free to go. I have one request. That you don't follow this trail. And go straight that way.
Why would we not follow the trail, and why should I trust you to point me in any direction?
Because if you follow this trail, there's more trouble. And if you want to tangle with Marcus, who's got a bit of a vendetta for your mechanically inclined friends, that's your choice. But I know if you're heading to Long Pike, killing family of the mayor is not a great way to make a lot of friends. You can fight your way through that. I have no doubt of that. But killing family of the mayor is not going to make you popular, if you catch my meaning.
What do you all think? What should we do?
I do believe I would not like a political crisis on our hands currently. Perhaps when we have the rest of the party with us, we can change that opinion.
You think we should trust him
I
and head
second
through the
that.
woods and off of our trail?
I believe we should trust them that far and no further.
Tell you
Are they
what.
telling the truth?
Yes. He is being honest with you. He almost had the pants scared off of him because the Dragonborn is fronting on him.
That is such a hack. Is he telling the truth?
It
Well,
is a
that's
good
such
Nobody
an
else knows
useful-
I can tell that. So like,
I know,
There-
but
but there
I'm
is-
saying
there's
it's
also
such
a
a
drawback.
useful skill.
There is a drawback.
I can't lie.
That's true.
Which is great from an RP perspective, and also awesome because if you're ever in a situation where you have to lie, you're hosed.
Yeah.
That's true.
Just take the ring off.
No, we're just having a conversation.
Easy there, Frodo.
Get it off.
Easy, Frodo.
And Brian's and the one called Brian is like, I've got no beef with you. I'll walk you there.
I'd rather go without the escort.
Okay, that's fine.
Just point us in the direction. We'll head
That
that
way.
way.
We'll keep this accurate. He points you off that way.
Was that you or him?
He points you off in that direction. He goes, follow that. About a quarter mile, you'll find a stream. Follow the stream, you'll hit the road. Once you hit the road, hang a left, keep on trucking. You'll be in Long Pike by noon.
What is a truck?
Lovely.
You know, I'm not quite sure. It's a thing I heard from someone in another somebody came through and said truckin', and I thought it sounded cool. It's a fun word to say, truck.
It's cool.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I'm glad we
It's
can come to
cool.
terms on such a lovely bargain for our safe passage.
It's dope, yo.
Shit is dope, yo. And good luck on your travels, gentlemen. And I hope to never see you again.
Agreed.
And as you guys kind of walk off, you hear some more muttering in the back, and you hear the sound of someone like getting like slapped. And then the he was like whack. And as you guys mosey into the woods, and sure enough, exactly like the dudes had instructed you, there's a small creek. You hit the creek. It comes out into this pretty a well-maintained road that looks fairly well traveled, and you guys start moseying toward Longpike.
Ta-da!
I have
On the
not
road.
unsummoned the sword at all at this point.
You're just
I'm
carrying the sword.
He's just
Yeah.
super skeptical.
Just still, the sword is the only thing not covered in mud at this point. So there's
It's
this
a
like
shiny boy.
there's this like muddy Sasquatch. There's two muddy Sasquatches. One's got a spear, and the other one has the weird kind of pixelated sword. And they're just walking next to a dragon and a bugbear with a glaive and a half orc. And it's just it's like Homeward Bound.
He looks like he's
Robbie,
like
and I guess Frank, why didn't you wash yourselves off in the creek?
Would you like us to do that?
You don't have to be muddy, but
It does not bother me.
it may present better if you two aren't muddy.
Frank takes off the hat and like swats all the mud off it, puts the hat back on, and
Oh, actually.
he puts it down, and then it's just like and keeps walking.
just imagine Robbie just regular robot carrying around a Minecraft sword.
Pretty much it.
That's kind of the look, except it's a little bigger and would kill someone much faster.
Faux Minecraft swords.
Whack, whack, whack.
Nope. I don't have anything fun to get this off with.
You
unless
don't
I
have
want to thunderstep.
Presty? You don't have Presty? What's wrong with you? What kind of caster are you, you psycho?
I'm the warlock kind of caster.
Oh yes, I cast Presty at 5th level.
Everything is clean for a mile.
Everything inside of people is clean. It's like drinking disinfectant.
So while we are walking along the road, I will take every chance that I can after that statement. If we find a puddle, a creek, anything, and try to dip a different part of me into it.
Okay. Right now, there's still some dewy spots under some trees. If you want to roll around in the dew, that's
Kinda.
totally your call.
So now I'm just streaky and kind of.
Yeah, there's weird. Anyone following behind this group would be super confused why there are starfish. Like it's like a snow angel in the dew, except it's mud.
There's
It's-
mud
it's
angels
like-
everywhere.
Yeah, there's just mud angels showing up under trees. And the closer you get to town, the fewer and fewer there are. But there's also like weird just mud spatters and footprints just as you're walking through this thing. But you guys make it back to town. You guys get right up to the outskirts of town, and that's where we'll jump to the other group.
Let's start a computer podcast.
No, let's not.
Just audio. No, let's not do computers. Let's do something way more fun.
Minecraft.
That's like a computer. Anyway, so we switch over to the other party. Our fine adventurers parked over in a mountain pass in this mountain range where the deep gnomes were like, here's your stop by, and just like kind of parked you there. It is morning. Nothing happened overnight.
Is Marisha still here?
She is still there,
Wow.
as you always. She said she wasn't going to go anywhere.
Is all my shit on my person? Didn't take
Yeah.
anything? Alright.
From everything seems to be in where you had it. She fell asleep first and woke up last.
Good.
So
Wait, didn't you
Ow!
say she had third watch?
yeah, after her watch, like she.
Oh, I was like, what?
Hey, I stabbed myself with a thumbtack.
You should go deal with that.
That's what you get for eating candy canes.
Is it in between the now?
April?
No!
Anyway, Mr. Mountain Boy, Mr. Lythar, as the survival-oriented member of the group, this is kind of your bag.
While he's looking, can I use the sending zone to message Lady Cost?
Sure. That
Kendrick's
seems
above
like
me.
sounds like
Oh,
an excellent.
You're tickling Kendrick?
You're below me to my right, so you were like tickling Rachel, so that
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
You were tickling
No,
Rachel's
that was-
elbow.
I don't like
I
that.
I have my screen minimized. I have no
That's
idea
probably
what's
for the
going on.
best. There was
Yep.
some weirdness. Anyway, so Lythar,
Great.
what would you like to do to try and get your bearings and get you and your friends out of here?
well, from previous knowledge, I guess I got to get up.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna climb or
Okay.
go up by myself.
So kind of. So not quite by yourself. So
well,
while
I
you
meant like they stayed there. I'll
Yeah.
do this.
Okay. So there's a fairly good rise because you guys came out basically out of the side of a sheer face. Up ahead of you is probably a good 40-foot, pretty steep hill that you could run up to, or you could try to climb the face behind you, which will get you a higher, but will require a little more rolling.
Let's do it.
Do which one?
I'm rolling. Let's go higher.
Okay. Give me.
You're touching Curtis's hand.
Yeah.
I'm getting his
Yeah.
elbow.
Oh, for me, it's his hand.
Leave
What?
my weenus out of this.
His hand's
For
over
me,
here.
you're touching his hand.
So, Lythar,
Yes.
give me.
You're poking
Thor-
Rachel in the top of the head.
Dude.
Give me 3. Athletics checks.
Ooh.
All right.
3 athletics check.
That's a 15.
Okay.
Is that a
Give me a
good?
second one. Give me your second one.
Oh, I have to. Okay. That's a 14.
Okay.
And a natural 1.
And that's a 12.
Okay. So you start your climb and you're able to, you've with a little bit of practice and kind of working around in mountains before, some of the hillier and more mountainous areas of your old hunting grounds. This is not easy, but it's a fair amount of work to get up in the wall. And at some point you do have to take out like a dagger or a piton and like nail it in so you have a handhold. But you're able to get up. And about halfway up this climb, you realize there's not really a handhold to go to. You kind of, as you were climbing up, all of a sudden you're kind of stuck. Not like you can go back down and swing a different direction, or you can try and make a jumping grab for a handhold.
I want to make a jumping grab.
Okay,
And I'm going to use my inspiration for advantage. Is that what it would be?
that's advantage. So give me
All right.
another athletics check.
A 2.
So that's a 17 and a 6. So 17. Thank
So
God
you get this, like, you basically with both hands throw yourself up this wall, and you reach up and you catch it with your fingertips and start to slip. And as you're starting to slip, your foot catches on something, and you're able to catch your weight enough to get your other hand up and get 3 points of contact again.
My pants
It was
didn't dry another day.
It was close. And from here, you clear like the hardest part of this thing, and from there, it's a quick, easy climb up to the top. You cleared a fair amount of distance pretty quickly, while everyone else is closing down the camp.
I've been holding that inspiration for a good 3 to 4 months in real time. To be honest, it's been a long time.
I know, and I want to give you guys more, but everyone's got it and no one uses it. I want to just give them away when it's not Christmas anymore.
Honestly, that might have been from the sewers. Like, I don't even know.
To be really fair about inspiration, I like getting low rolls, so I never try to give myself advantage anywhere.
Yeah. So as you make your way up to this shelf, this rock shelf, that's probably 70 feet above where everyone is sitting, and you can still see them. And you guys down below can look up and see Lythar's feet kind of dangling as he's looking. And Lythar,
what do my elven eyes see? They're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Peter Jackson,
Can I
please
throw a
don't
rock
sue us.
at him?
I'll fucking kill you with an arrow.
Just a little rock.
Just.
I'm gonna
stop that if it happens.
I just did
guess
that
not.
amazing acrobatic work, and a pebble is gonna make me fall to my death.
It's not gonna make you fall.
Do it!
You'll just remember it when you get back.
Listen, I'm already tired of one of the big dudes. Don't make me tired of both big dudes.
So
I still like you.
What your elf eyes see, give me a survival check.
Survival. That is a 16.
Okay. So kind of gauging off of the way the sun is coming, you're able to get your bearings off of the sunrise, and you take a peek out and you see that this path does lead into the woods. It does not look like it gets easier. There's a path that leads into the woods, and there's another one. It's a thinner one that looks less used, that actually snakes around the base of the mountain range and snakes off to the right, where you can kind of see the silvery line of a stone road off a couple of miles off to your right.
What makes the other path difficult? The terrain itself?
Sorry, repeat that.
You said like the first path I see is like more difficult. Do you mean like terrain wise?
Because it makes its way down. It's the most direct route to Long Pike, because it looks like it kind of snakes through a couple of ravines and gullies and then goes into the woods. And from there it'll be a little rougher to walk, especially for the terrain will be a little rougher. Or you can take the path that loops around the base of a couple of, you get to kind of the edge of the mountains and you can go into the woods or follow the edge of the range towards the road.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make a mental note of that because I'm way above everybody else. Am I in shouting distance to them?
Yep.
All right. I guess I'll look down and be like, "Hello. There are two paths that we can take. One is shorter, but for the weaker minds, it might be a little bit more difficult. Just take some physical activity, but you'll be aight. Or we could take the longer path that just goes around the mountains more. I preferably would like to get there sooner than later, but that's me. Let me know. I'm staying up here for a second because I'm very tired probably from doing that, so I'm staying up there."
It was kind of like your morning calisthenics.
Yeah.
It's a little more exercise than you normally do first thing in the morning, but
It was my morning coffee. It woke me up.
it's your PT. Anyway, so down below, Marisha and Mori are kind of just looking at each other and looking at you guys.
Sorry, this gift just killed me. Certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Well, Ronan, I mean, what do you think?
Well, the last time I went through some thick forests, I tackled a tree and bad things happened. But it doesn't, as long as I don't tackle a tree, I think we'll be fine.
I was gonna say, can I hear any of this? I got nice ears, right?
Ronan, are you shouting this to him, or
I'm
is
not
this a conversation?
shouting, I'm just
Okay.
talking.
Give me perception check, Lythar, if you want to listen in on it.
That's a 14.
You're catching like every third word.
Did I hear tackle tree?
Yes.
I'm gonna shout down. Don't you dare tackle any more trees, barbarian!
I'm gonna chuck a rock at him and yell back, I said I'm not tackling a tree, and just whip a rock.
Okay, give me a ranged attack.
Do I add strength or dex?
Dex.
Ooh. +2, that was a 19.
Oh,
Lythar, what's your AC?
Not
not
19.
that. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
16.
give me a dex save. You see this coming.
Yeah.
So the party
So
hurls
that's my
rocks at
save.
each
Oh,
other.
I have a +8 on dex saves. Watch me get a nat 1 off.
It was a dex save, not a check.
That's
Aw.
I see it coming.
A
I'm looking
save
at
is to
you.
dodge an attack.
Yeah, I'm literally looking at you as I see you throw a rock at me. And that's a 19 as well. So who's got the higher dex modifier? Definitely me.
It's because if it's an attack, it's meet or beat.
If it meets
What?
or exceeds,
So,
Beat the
it's-
meat.
Meet or exceed. So Lythar, you duck back as this rock just whips by, and it catches the front of your shirt. It's like boom, and like tugs it up into your face. It doesn't hurt, but he definitely you thought you could get out of the way of this rock, and it came a little faster than you anticipated.
I'm gonna lean down. We'll talk about that later. First you ripped my pants, then you almost ripped my shirt.
Hey, that was cool.
Yes, it was.
Have I heard anything back from Lady Cost?
What was your message to Lady Cost?
Hey, that was cool. You're not
Thalia
wrong.
again. Previous danger avoided. Party split. Returning to Long Pike. Any feedback?
I have to find the last time you sent her a message.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, I gotta
I
try.
had to dig for it myself.
Let me do it quick. Google.
Let's see who can find it first.
Show. I think I found it. So you get a ping back. We'll talk in person. I did talk with Ergen. I'll fill you in later. Good luck. And as the link is closing, she goes, and watch out for Marcus.
Marcus? We're supposed to watch out for someone named Marcus?
Is this
I'm
something
saying
you're
this to
shouting?
the party. Sorry, yeah, I'm saying this to the group.
So Lythar, you do hear her mention of someone named Marcus, whom you remember. The friend as the man who was in charge, the woodsman who was in charge of the band, and you shot and killed their friend. Like episode 2.
Oh. Wait, like when we were at the hole and the guys were like, "Hey, stop!" and I was like, "Pew!" and
Yep, those guys. So Chris, what you missed?
Gotta kill Marcus now.
Sorry, my
Valley,
heater in my garage was going.
That's good. Don't burn your house down. So yeah, Ronan, Thalia, it was just like, we're supposed to look out for someone named Marcus. You also, you might remember. I don't know if you actually knew his name. He was there when you guys came out, because Marcus and his band dropped the rock on the.
Oh yeah, okay.
They helped seal the exit when you guys made your escape in like episode 4.
So he still helped us after I tagged. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, Marcus seemed like a nice man. Why do we have to avoid him?
You tell me. I don't know. That's all that Lady Cost said.
Oh.
How loud is this conversation?
Are you guys Are you guys intentionally excluding Lythar from the conversation, or are you just
No.
having a normal conversation?
He's
No,
having a
not
normal
intentional.
conversation. It was his
Well,
choice.
fucking-
It's his choice to stay up on the fucking rock. If he wants
Yeah,
to talk
that's
to
fair.
us,
I'm
he could
taking
come
a
down
breather. I got a roll to get down. Most likely, I'm taking a breather.
You do have rope.
Oh yeah.
You have an entire page of equipment on your character sheet.
I do have rope. I have 50 feet of rope.
That's 10 more feet than you need.
Can I use that to get down?
Sure.
All right. I used
Give
that.
me. Your dex is high. I'm not going to make you tie.
I'll say I
roll
was
the
like,
tie
fuck.
knot. Yeah, you're able to find a suitable thing to nail your shit down and boogie.
Well, anyway, Mersha, Maury, do you have a preference which route we take?
Maury just kind of is like, I'm good for a walk. Whatever's the safest route, I guess, would probably be safer, but also there's enough of us that I think we can do either. Marish's like, I would like the quick way because I'm behind schedule. If that means anything, but I'll bow if it means the group.
I thought you
you get
did
my
your
estimates.
own thing. How do you have a schedule?
I could be personally motivated.
Well, that's a bad reason.
Question: does this rope? Since this is such a bad question. Since I'm an elf, if I tug on it, will it drop down magic? Damn
Nope,
it!
It is rope.
So is it like stuck tied to the mountain?
If you wanted to make a knot that would let you do that, that would be survival.
Am I
that
allowed to go back in time and do that?
Yeah, you're like making your
'Cause
way down. So we'll retcon. Give me a
Okay.
survival check. Because if you do this and you don't roll high enough,
Can it
Will
break as I'm
plummet to your
dropping down?
death.
you will fall. Also, you're 70 feet up and you have 50 feet of rope. So even with this 50 feet of rope, there will be a acrobatics check at the end to stick the landing.
Let's do it.
Okay. Give me give me survival to tie that knot.
I thought he was only 40 feet up. Oops.
Oh no, 40. The hill was 40. The cliff face is 70.
That's a 17.
Okay. So you tie this knot. Looks good.
I feel like this is Mission Impossible right now with the music.
You start working your way down. You start. As you get there, the wind picks up a little bit. It kind of tugs a little bit, and you feel it slip just a little bit. And then you've got about 10 feet left on the rope and 30 feet to the ground.
Uh-huh.
And you just feel the tension of the rope just go slack in your hands, and you start to slide down the wall. Give me a acrobatics check.
Ronan, catch me.
You can't. Do you want to scream that?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys, all of a sudden, as Lythar is coming down the wall, you see, Ronan, catch me! What do you do, Ronan?
I sprint and try to catch him.
I just imagine him running in circles. Oh!
Give me... Both of you make... Ronan, give me an athletics check. Lythar, give me an acrobatics check. Now this is coordinated.
Alright, you forgot what you said. Athletics?
Athletics.
18.
Great.
Oh, I was waiting for like nat 1.
How'd you do, Lyther? Is
Ooh,
that
I
my
got
nat one?
I got a
my nat
15.
one?
No, I got a 15.
Okay. So it's close. Because there's a little more like sidestepping, like you're catching a pot fly, and he turns and bam! It's not the coziest landing you've ever had, but it was better than hitting the rock from 30 feet and taking 3d6, because that would have hurt. And the rope just like falls down next to you.
Can it fall on his face?
No.
Oh, can I put him under the rope for it to fall on his face?
I was gonna give you an appreciation, and now you're trying to fuck me more.
No. Like
Okay.
he's still holding part of the rope.
Oh.
So while I'm in Ronan's arms, I'm just gonna put my hand on his cheek and be like, "I appreciate you."
Well, thank
And
you.
that's the most bonding we've had in this show.
I did rip his
teaching
pants.
Robbie words. He did. That's true friendship. So
I'll put him down.
you guys now have two
Oh my
directions
God.
to go.
Big
You guys
man
know.
puts me down.
Two directions you want to go. Somebody's got to make a choice. You're burning daylight.
So I'm gonna start coiling up the rope, and I'm just gonna be like, "Did you guys decide on a path you want to take? I don't ever suggest trying to tie a knot like that. By the way, very risky move. I was trying to do some fancy that I was taught when I was a kid.
How'd that go?
Do not recommend unless you have a giant barbarian friend that can react quickly."
I think consensus is we're gonna go the faster route.
Oh, thank God. All right. Any disagreements with that?
Nope.
Gnome friends and Morticia?
It's Marisha. Thanks.
Marisha. Is there any disagreements?
No?
Oh, let's go! And then I start leading the way.
Okay. Okay. So as you guys kind of start moseying your way, everyone give me perception checks.
12.
Oh, there's your nat 1, Curtis.
21.
Okay, I love it when the ranger gets the one.
Yep.
So
What did Maury roll?
The person leading the whole party, I don't know what's going on.
no, you're very busy keeping your eye on the trail and making sure that you're looking for trail sign. You're making sure that this is not, occupied. Let me pull up what Maury got. Wow. Okay. That's not bad. So Thalia, you start to hear rocks shifting as you're walking through this. The path kind of opens up across a couple of hillsides, and then it narrows down into this gully, probably 5 feet wide. So you guys have to walk single file through this thing. And as you're starting to walk, you start to hear rocks sliding, and you hear the sound of like this scraping sound of claws on stone. And as you look up as you're walking through this gully, you see a very large shape up above you, looking down. You guys are probably 30 feet down in this gully. And there is a very large creature keep like walking at the top of the gully. Give me a nature check, please.
Just her?
Yep, because you noticed.
That might be okay. That is 17.
Okay. You look up and the sun shifts a little bit and the cloud pulls away, and you see this very large feathered figure and two very large eyes and a big beak, and it's just looking and it's pacing alongside you. It's an owlbear. It is a mother owlbear. She's just watching.
Nobody freak out. We may have company. I suggest we just stay calm and leave the owl bear be.
There's an owl bear.
Oh, bear.
Yeah, I saw it. And Maury's like, oh. Yeah, I think we should leave that alone too.
Yeah, let's just keep going. Carefully, gently.
And Marisha's like, if it comes to a fight, I'm ready. And she holds out her hand, and there's a ribbon of flame that starts to, like, it's like rolling a coin across your knuckles, except it's a ribbon of fire that she's just kind of twirling very idly, like she does this all the time.
I would like to ready my rage action. Can I do that? It's a bonus action.
No, you can only ready a full action,
Okay.
I think.
I'd like to say to Thalia and Draconic, I thought you said she couldn't do this shit.
Look, I don't know what's going on.
Thalia, this does not look. This just looks like straight up old, like regular fire magic to you.
Yeah,
This is not
what I thought.
what
it might
you
be.
thought it might have been.
Okay, so maybe to me it looks impressive, but I was
because fire magic is tricky.
right.
And Lythar, I feel like as a person in the woods, you have a special respect and fear for fire. And what it does, and why it is good and bad, and to see someone using it so casually, skillfully, but very casually.
I imagined Ash twiddling the bullet across her knuckles like in Overwatch, if anybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Except, like, if the bullet could go off at any second. To put, like, because it's still fire. It's still live fire.
Fireball!
But as you guys keep walking, you start to hear this thing.
Oh,
Gonna hoot back at it? Give me a nature check.
yeah, I will fucking hoop back at it, actually. Oh.
Okay.
That's a 10. Oh.
So
We're dead.
you hoot back at it, and your hoot's pretty good.
It was the wrong dialect.
It's not even the wrong dialect.
It's
After
a
you
mating
hoot,
call.
you realize that you're not sure if it was a mating call or you're not sure exactly what hoot you were trying to give with that. It could have been a threat display. It could have been a mating call. It could have been, I'm leaving, leave me alone. We're cool, I'm out. You're not quite sure. But you have a 1 in 3 chance of that being the correct call. Let me find out.
What is it?
So when you make this hoot, and she goes, whoo, whoo, and starts like, shh, shh, whoo, shh, shh, and it's starting to rumble through this gully. And Marisha's like, what did you say to it? Looking
Do I know
at you,
what I
Lythar.
said to it? Can I tell by what they responded with?
Give me another nature check.
Okay, because that makes sense. So that is I think that's a 17. 17.
The way she's reacting, this is not a courting ritual. That's
like a defensive.
She's getting protective of her territory, and she kind of wants you guys to leave. And as you guys are walking forward, she seems to be getting more and more agitated. And you might be walking further into her territory, and she's getting very defensive. There might be sows nearby.
I'm gonna turn around to the party and say, "Do not worry, I got this." And I'm gonna howl or ooh. I'm gonna ooh back. Ooh, ooh. I gotta go another time, don't I?
Or you did long rest. You have spells.
Oh, they have spells.
I just wanted to keep saying, ooh, it's
I-
this fucking owl bear.
I thought about it. I'm just like,
Oh, DM, I
remember you're a
appreciate you.
caster. Remember
I'm sorry.
you're a caster.
My like I've used Speak with Animals twice in the past 8 months or so.
Mhm.
So, and I like
Remember
to, be
to look
kind
at
of-
your entire character sheet.
You're right. I gotta click on different tabs. Okay, I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals at first level because
Okay.
that's all there is. I cast it. I think how we described it before is I kind of close my eyes, then I open them, and there's like a blue glow in them, and I'm like, "Woo." And well, is she too far away for me to communicate, or no?
She's
You
like
can
30 feet.
obviously who at her, so I think she's within communication.
She's like 30 feet above you. Like you can look up and like kind of shout, or at least talk to her.
So I'm gonna talk to her, and I'm just gonna say like, I'm sorry for the miscommunication. My owlbear skills are out of whack, but I promise you, we are leaving your territory. We mean no harm. We are just trying to get back to where we were coming from. We mean no harm. We will not attack. We promise we will not attack you. Sorry for the miscommunication. We out.
She kind of looks at you.
Drop the mic.
She looks at you.
Long live Chappelle.
She looks at you and she goes, "What?"
No.
You are
What?
still talking to a bear.
Why?
We're
Why
we're
are you
leaving.
here? Wait,
We're leaving. Don't worry. We're getting out. Don't worry. Don't attack us.
You're
We're
not getting
leaving.
out. You're coming further in.
We gotta go through to get out. I promise you, we will leave you alone. Don't attack us. We mean no harm. We're going through to get out. It's
Yeah,
a
then I-
process.
Yeah. Okay. Roll me persuasion, please.
Oh boy, that's bad. Because I know my modifier is not good. Oh, that's a -1? That's a 6. Fuck.
She's like, I'm going nowhere. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna walk with you. I'm gonna make sure you leave.
All right, fine. Walk
But
with
you
us.
pull-
Follow us. Fine. We're trying to get out. You know, if you want to mess with us, fine. But we're not trying to give you any harm. Just leave us be. We're letting you be. We just happen to be in the same spot at the wrong time. I apologize. We're trying to get on our way.
Mm. That's what the last group of y'all said. And she's like, go on, get. I'm walking with you.
Go
Pull
on,
any
get.
funny shit. Pull any funny business. Just don't pull any funny.
And I'm gonna look at her and say, and don't you pull any funny shit.
What's your
Don't ask what my intimidation is, because it's not good.
Are you trying? Because that sounds like an intimidate to me.
That wasn't more of an intimidation. That was more just like, kind of, counteracting. what she was-
You're fronting on an owl bear. You're stepping.
I'm
stepping, big
I'm
guy.
lightly stepping.
Okay.
To be fair, if you said that to me, it would piss me off.
And that would, being like, don't fuck with me. And the bear's like, the bear, you're in her turf. You're in her house. And you're being like, listen, don't try any shit.
Well, all right. Is that an intimidation check?
Give me an intimidation check. She's going to attempt to intimidate you right back.
Guys, I'm so sorry. So my intimidation is a -1.
Love it when
And,
the ranger takes point on charisma checks.
and I rolled a 3. So I got a 2.
So she, to the rest of you,
Rachel,
you
I'm
see
sorry. You don't look happy. I'm so
Lythar,
sorry.
Lythar is hooting and growling up at this bear, and the bear's just like, and then just roars. I'm not gonna roar because people are trying to sleep. but it's this just, and it, because you're in this gully, it echoes, and it like small rocks start kind of like falling from this alley, from this gully, and it echoes a little longer after she stopped roaring, and she's standing there, just her talons on the edge of this mountain outcrop, and she's just staring right at Lythar. And then she goes, takes a step back and just jerks her head further down the gully.
I'm gonna turn around and say into the entire party, run. I will stay in the back. Run.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
I would start running.
Yep.
I'm gonna pick up our gnome. I'm
Okay.
not gonna ask. I'm just gonna grab him. Do I have to roll a grab
He'll
check?
accept it willingly. He'll accept it willingly.
Okay.
That means I have one less person to keep track of for the time being.
Dope.
Can I
he
be jogging backwards, keeping my eye on
God.
her in a way?
Yep. Cora is running at your side.
Yes.
And the mother owlbear is just watching you, and as you start to get further away, she starts kind of loping after you. And it's weird watching an owlbear run, because for all of their feathers, they still run like bears. They still have that kind of lumber to it. But the talons that she's got are leaving huge scrapes across the stone. As she just starts keeping up. It's a pretty solid run. You guys come out of this gully, and this is where the paths diverge. You can go into the woods, or you can hook around to the right and go to the road. What was the final decision on
The
that?
quicker way.
Okay, so I think it was into the woods.
Into the woods.
Into the woods and
So y'all take off into the woods. Thalia, I believe you are first.
I am.
Give me perception or survival to keep your eye on the trail while you're running. At disadvantage because you are running.
Oh boy. 7.
You get a good head of steam, and you're running, and then after about 5 minutes, you kind of slow to us. You start to lose progress, because all of a sudden this game trail you're on is just gone, and you're running through pretty sparse underbrush, but enough underbrush that you're getting tripped up on roots and logs and ferns and stuff like that. And the rest of the party has kind of followed your lead in, and y'all are kind of standing, just kind of hanging out in the woods.
Great. Lythar, do you want to take over again? I'm lost.
Where's the owlbear?
So the owlbear, once you guys ran into the woods, she slowed down and she's still following this trail, but she's keeping a much further distance back. And at the point where you guys have stopped, you can no longer see her.
You guys are lucky, because I was very close to doing something. All right.
Doing what? As opposed to just pissing off the owlbear.
Oh, probably making it worse, but possibly succeeding in what I was gonna do.
What were you gonna do? I'm curious.
No,
I also want to
No,
know.
I
how
wanna
you
know.
coordinate.
I wanna know.
No. I want to know how
no.
you endanger our life in the next 10 seconds.
No, I'm gonna savor this until we're done, because there's a possibility what I'm thinking could still happen. So we're just gonna wait and see if it happens. So I'm gonna take Thalia's request, and I'm going to try to figure out where the fuck we are and where we're trying to go.
Give me a survival check.
Do not demand me of my abilities. I'm just kidding. That is a
Literally my job.
I'm just that's a 15.
Okay. You're able to, with the directions you took before, you're able to figure out where things went awry, and backtracking, you're able to find the trail. When you backtrack back to the main trail, you cannot find the owlbear.
That's fine. I will have Cora lead the way
Okay.
I'm assuming she understands what's going on, right? Like,
Yeah.
the track, yeah.
Yep.
So I'm gonna tell everybody follow Cora, and she's gonna start booking it, and everyone's gonna follow her, and I'm gonna stay in the back still. So I'll
What are
be
you
running.
waiting for?
Don't worry about it. I'm just,
No. Tell me. I need to know what your. What's your plan?
I'm just making sure that if the owlbear comes in sight, I'm the one who sees her because I have the range to fuck shit up. That's all you
Okay.
need to know.
Okay.
Roll initiative.
What's your? Are you and you're actively keeping an eye out for an owlbear? Roll perception for me.
Or yeah.
The funny thing is, in my D&D game, I almost killed Kendrick with an owlbear.
Yeah, until I shot it
That's
in
why
the
he's mad
face.
about it. That explains a couple of things.
I'm a little bitter until I shot a bullet through its forehead.
Poor little guy.
That is a dirty 20.
Okay. There's no sign of that owlbear.
All right, that's fine, but I'm still staying in the back, keeping
Okay.
an eye.
So everyone else, as the party has split again.
Well, we're not. I don't say we're split. I thought I was just
you
like.
told a wolf to take off at a dead run and have everyone follow her. How long are you going to wait for this owlbear?
I'm not. Okay, maybe I was. I'm not waiting. I was more just like, all right. Like imagine in a real life situation, doggo.
Is that not what we're doing?
Go. Everyone goes. I wait like 5 seconds. And I'm like, Okay, no owlbear.
Okay, so
but while I'm running, I'm making sure I'm keeping track of what's behind me if I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I didn't stop for like 5 minutes. Like
when you said you wanted to wait still, that your descriptor sounded like it was going to be an ambush. But we Gucci, we're good. So yeah, you wait. There's no sign of this owlbear, and as you guys keep running through the woods, Cora, great, she's fine. Cora's like got her nose into this trail and she's trucking. And you guys, after she slows her pace a little bit, because like Marisha starts getting a little winded, kind of slows her pace a little bit. You guys find your way to a very familiar burned down farmhouse.
I go and get my beak.
Is there a minute I can talk to Marisha?
Yeah, Ronan is walking over to the remains of this to pull up his piece of shiny beak that he left there yesterday. I guess it was yesterday. But yeah, if you guys want to, if you want to have a moment to chat with Marisha.
So how long have you been hunting any sort of rumor? I'm also in the business of doing that.
Well, ever since I was a kid, this is the kind of job I fell into. How long you been doing it?
About the same. Although, I think I've slowed down a bit.
She kind of looks at you. Looks right up in your eyes. And so your golden eyes are matched like eye level with her purple ones. She goes, "Where'd you get your eyes from? Your mom or your dad?"
My mom.
Got mine from my dad.
Yeah.
Didn't do a whole lot for me. It's kind of a dick. But
see him often?
No. Wouldn't want to. Dude, Angel rolls up, has a bastard, leaves.
Yeah.
Same old story.
Same old story.
But yeah, mom left me at an orphanage and 18 years of that and get tired of it.
Can't blame you.
Yeah. What about you? What's your sob story?
Didn't know my mother until late. I guess, I don't know, for better or for worse, I don't really know who she is.
It's better. I know mine. And she pulls at her necklace. She goes, got his name right here. It's like a calling card.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
I recognize the name. It's why I was speaking Celestial to start.
Oh, you thought I was? She laughs. She throws her head back in this belly laugh. She's like, you thought I was? No, not that lucky.
You can't blame me for assuming.
Yeah, I can understand the...
And well, from my research and history, I know it's better to play it safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get my history lessons have been a little more hands-on. I had a rough couple of years where I was on the run because people find out that you're part angel and all of a sudden they want bits of you. It's amazing what a wizard can do with a piece of angel hair. So spent a couple of years running and found some people that were like us and kind of fell in with them.
You travel with more?
No, I travel by myself. It's easier that way. You find enough, you walk around with enough people with weird colored eyes. I mean, you look at the weird hodgepodge of folks you walk with. You guys don't draw enough attention?
Helps me blend in a bit.
You're the only one who blends in, let's be honest.
I dropped the beak and knocked down part of the house. Just yell, sorry!
Like the chimney, the only part of the structure that has remained standing for the 3 weeks you've been gone. Ronan, when you go to pick it up, you tip over and you slam into the chimney and there's just tumbling bricks and stone. And you hear, sorry, my bad.
But they look out for me.
That's good.
Word of advice? If you ever need me, I work for the Brotherhood. Quorum 4 is my main stop. I know, pencil pushers, whatnot. It's a little bit safer. Someone once told me the truth dies cold and alone.
We all die alone. And if we're lucky, we're cold at the end of it.
I guess.
Truth is the only thing worth finding. No matter what.
I thought that way. I still think that way. I just be careful
What
about
changed
it.
your mind?
Just be careful about it. I still go for the truth. Don't let me fool you. Just a little more careful now.
Well, I'm inclined to disagree, but we're entitled to our own different opinions. I think anyone who's willing to hide the truth, or any portion of the truth, isn't worthy of knowing it.
I hope you never give that up.
It's the only thing I've got, really. That
So if you need me.
Let's not get carried away with goodbyes yet.
I
Still
know.
have to make
I
it to
just
town.
before the rest of them start making more noise. Trust me, them drunk. Figured I'd take the chance to talk while we could.
That's fair. To be fair, my brother Juwan, he's a little raucous. Definitely been there.
Oh, and before I forget, be careful around Long Pike. I've heard they were looking for me. If you catch my drift.
A goody two-shoes like you. Now, what in the hell would they be looking for you for?
Not sure. Just giving a heads up. Don't know who your contact is, but if you're looking for... Actually, no, you said the illusionist?
Mm-hmm.
She's the one who gave me the heads up.
Father Bryden told me to get in touch with an illusionist out here. So, that's where I'm headed. But if there's people on the hunt for you, I feel like we're going to get along just fine.
I think we will too. Should probably go check on Ronan and make sure he didn't kill himself.
Somehow you're still making a ruckus, like a retaining wall. Just like you're falling into the sub-basement at this point. You're in the root cellar. Just
Ronan, do you need healing?
No, I'm fine. My pinky is supposed to bend like this. It's fine.
No, come here.
You hear Maury go, it's not supposed to bend like that. I'm not a doctor, but that's not how that's supposed to work.
Come here.
It's fine. I just like wave and you can see my pinkies like pointed sideways.
I'll cast. I'm assuming you lost a couple hit points there.
No, this wouldn't even be worth like a spell slot. This is more like you bend it back into position and pat it twice and be like, you'll be fine.
Yep.
Stay tough, kid. And yeah. And I think that's a good point to end it. And we'll have all of y'all meet up first thing next episode. So the Humdrum V squad will party up and roll out, and the Humdrum V will make it to town after the Fun V, because you guys had more physical distance to cover.
Because we had more fun.
The Fun V is off accosting the locals, and the Humdrum V is accosting the local wildlife.
Ranger finally tried to prove himself, and he fucked it up really bad.
No, you got us out of there.
Yeah, but I'm not happy about how I did it.